Great dude today, Dana. Mike Birbiglia. I'd like to buy a vowel.
Birbiglia, yes.
Birbigs, known as...
Birbigs.
If you don't have time, you say Birbigli, and you lose the A. Save time.
Yeah. Mikey B. By the end of the podcast, we were very good friends. Mikey B. has a new special on Netflix, The Good Life.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the great storytellers we have out there. And he'll deep dive into his methodology about having a theme where he can go kind of serious and funny. It's very interesting.
Yeah, explains a one-man show. What's the difference between a stand-up set? Went to Georgetown, did a comedy contest early on. I did at ASU also. So we had that. Oh, we talked about that. We kicked and scratched about that. He's a sleepwalker. We make fun of him for that.
He does sleepwalk, and there's some danger involved, and it's a long story, and it's something that's been a big part of his zeitgeisty material.
Right. And if you don't know him, he's a well-respected comic out there in the New York circuit. Give it a listen, and you'll know him more. We like to get people on here that you may not be a household name yet, but very close, and sure he will be.
He writes, he directs movies. He did a Sleepwalker movie, and he's working on a new one. So he breaks down his methods for us.
Yeah.
And we have a bunch of laughs. So stay tuned.
Oh, whoa.
Wow. As I live and breathe.
Yeah.
As I live
Has
and
anyone
breathe.
ever told you that you kind of, when you smile, there is like your long lost cousin, Bob Odenkirk, just in this.
Oh yeah, I just thought of that.
I do get Odenkirk sometimes. We shot a pilot once for CBS like 15 years ago where he played my brother.
Oh, okay. So
I buy it.
So
oh,
I
is
guess
that the one that didn't go?
That's the one that didn't go. Yeah.
We heard that saved your career getting away from Bob.
Yeah, whatever happened to him.
And Nick Kroll.
yeah, exactly.
I like the executive that passed on it. I mean, if it's something like that, you just say yes. Even if the show sucks, you go, yes, let's get all these guys under a deal. And then you start changing it or whatever you want to do.
That's right.
Sometimes I think that. I go, why are you passing on this package? It's too good.
Did you think it was bad? Because, I know Bob Odenkirk fairly well. And he would be... comedy is really, really important to Bob, to say the least.
Thank you.
No, it's great.
You guys are so funny.
He's awesome. He said the single word non sequitur, but since you're smiling and you know him, the single maybe funniest thing that's ever been said on the podcast. Because we knew Bob when he was like an underling. He was like on SNL and stuff. But I always loved him, and he's a writer, but he's kind of struggling. It's in his book. He comes on our Zoom and Better Call Saul was kind of like, he knew comedians have like, what the fuck, Bob Odenkirk. Now he's like winning Emmys as an actor. And then when he did Nobody or the fighting one, what was that called?
Yeah, Nobody.
Yeah. And he said to himself, if this thing works, man, you guys are going to be going, what the fuck?
Yeah. And everyone
He's an action star now? And they said, it's just like, because we know Bob from before. So it's funny.
And there's a sequel, Dan.
We're going to let you talk in a sec, but I just want to say.
No. We don't need to do that.
No, I mean, Odenkirk, he came to the filming of The Good Life because he's in town doing Glengarry Glen Ross, and he's just like a deeply supportive person of, I think, comedians. He's just really good to fellow comedians.
Yes.
Good dude overall.
He, if I'm not mistaken, he wrote Living in a Van Down by the River.
You are not mistaken.
You are not mistaken.
Gave one of the biggest gifts to SNL.
By the way, do you remember when we met? This will be a really quick story. You may not.
I opened for you in Rhode Island at a college. Is that what
That's
it is?
it. But I was on some kind of doing a little mini tour zone. I had a friend of mine, Mark Pitt, it was my opener, and no one told me that they booked an opener. So when we showed up, they go, this guy Mike wants to go up, and and you don't come off like a cocky guy. You're kind of unassuming. I go, oh no, what's this fucking guy going to do?
What's he going to do?
We really need him. I didn't know you. Do we really need him? Oh yeah. So, I'm thinking,
Oh, yeah.
this is going to be a
You need 'em.
clusterfuck. This guy, I'm not getting good vibes. So then I'm watching you.
Not good vibes. What the
Well,
fuck?
because Mike is unassuming and quiet. And then I'm watching the show. I'm like, he's building and building. I went, holy shit, this guy is
he's
great.
good. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
I thought it at the time, and I do not think I followed you correctly. I think you left a wake because it was clever and stuff. I made some faces, did some funny sounds, and after
No.
after
You
10
crushed.
minutes,
It was like
they were done.
It was like, you absolutely crushed. It was, I don't think I'd never seen you live, but I grew up on both of you guys on SNL. So I would do in 7th grade. I remember I was doing at school, Church Lady, Hans and Franz, George Bush
I'm
Sr.
so sorry.
And by the way, killing. Like literally doing your characters. No one really knew what they were from SNL. So I was just I was like the 7th grade hack.
So they didn't know
You were the
from
modem
SNL.
getting-
So you're doing your new character in junior
Yes, my
high
new
called
character.
the Church Lady, like that.
Yeah,
Really?
exactly.
And killing with it.
I was killing.
Do you
with
want to
SNL
do it?
characters.
I'd be
I
flattered.
would never. I would never. It would be the most embarrassing thing I could possibly
That's
do.
an easy one to do, but
Well, everybody. I mean, that's one of the things about your impressions is that your impressions are so good.
Thank you.
I mean, your Biden is so crazy good that essentially it's that thing in culture where everyone retrofits their Biden.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, now wait a minute.
It's like walking.
Now hold a
Everyone
second.
turns into a walk-in at a certain point. You go, oh, now I can do it. It's like a home kit.
and guess what? And by the way, it was the non sequitur. Guess what? And by the way,
Guess what?
The fact of
Yeah.
the matter is, I'm not getting around here. I'm being serious.
I'll knock you out, Jack.
Get your facts
Calls
straight,
people-
Jack. I'll beat the hell out of you. Take my
Yeah,
wood
he calls
shut.
people Jack.
Yeah. Yeah.
How would I have known about the cancer? They couldn't have known. They don't do checks for that kind of thing.
There you go.
What if they knew about the cancer for 4 years? It's like another thing. They're like, what? There's another thing we kind of spaced out.
Okay. So I used to do SNL impressions in 7th grade, and then I remember here's the mistake I made. I did John Lovitz's Annoying Man.
And
If
That
people
is
don't
so
know the
funny.
character,
I
he
do.
just shows up. Yeah, Dennis shows up to Dennis Miller's update, and he just goes, "Annoying man." He puts his fingers around his eyes and shit. I did it to this guy in class named Kenny, who was tough, and I go, "Kenny, annoying man." Fucking, I don't know if I can say curse.
You can't curse.
Socked me in the face. Socked me in the face. Bleeding in science class, 7th grade. And I never did Annoying Man again.
Off of
love
Lovett's
the
bit?
character? The name of the character is who the character is.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that. The Annoying
We
Man
did too
is
much of that
annoying.
back then. I think Santa was Crazy Spoon Man and
And he had a crazy spoon.
Opera Man. We had a lot of mans
I
on the
love
show.
Metal on the Head Productions, man.
I don't think they do it as much anymore like that. Just straight up. Here's what it is.
What do you think, Mike?
Just building it out from who the people are.
How
you mean?
comedy is started, because we would have little jingles like "He's massive, massive head wound, Harry," or "Lyle, the effeminate, heterosexual." And when I was out there, I asked them, and they said, "Oh, we don't do that anymore." Well, I guess it's out of fashion, but to me, it's so funny to lay it all out like that, present it.
I think my favorite analysis of SNL through the years, because I've watched it since I was a kid, I still watch it, is when Seth Meyers said every single episode since the beginning of time, some of it is great, some of it's terrible, some of it's okay.
Yeah,
And it's never changed.
very true.
No, it's never changed. That's why we don't have a plethora of other live sketch shows in America. Except now they're going to do one in Great Britain, I guess, Saturday Night Live and jolly old London. So, but yeah, it's not easy, and you're humiliated half the time. You kind of just it didn't really happen. It didn't happen. The audience knows it didn't happen. Lorne Michaels know it didn't happen, and you kind of just blew it.
I made a movie. I don't know if you guys know this. I made a movie called Don't Think Twice years ago about Michael Keegan, Gillian Jacobs are part of like an improv group where everyone's best friends. And then one of them gets cast on like a Saturday Night Live type of show called Weekend Live. And then everyone else doesn't. And it's about what happens in friendships when people realize they're not going to get the same thing. Did you guys have that when you guys got it?
Yes.
Sure. Yeah. That's going back to the improv and seeing people you saw. And now you got a heat on you. And, but I watch people do it before me and after. So it's always just an odd, and then you get on SNL and it's the same thing. People get in sketches and all their stuff gets on that week and yours does. And you go, hey, good job. Go get them.
Yeah.
It is a funny thing.
It's so hard to cover. You're like,
because you're coming from your stand-up scene and your friends, and then suddenly you're on television and they're not, and it's just kind of awkward. Bobby Slayton was like, I can't believe this on Saturday Night Live. I can't believe it. What the fuck? I can't believe this on Saturday Night Live.
You, of all people.
Yeah. And Seinfeld was always, because Jerry had, this spectacular confidence even way before he made it. You just see, I met him in like 1980. He was in his suit and he had it all together.
Yeah, I've always heard that.
And then when I got on SNL and went to some award show for comedians or something, he just walked up and goes, congratulations, you made it, and just walked away. It wasn't no envy, nothing, but showbiz is like, have you had that experience? Because what I was going to ask you is this, and it goes to an overarching theme of how you do your performance. When you were coming up through in the clubs, because a lot of times the blender's going, you got to follow a dick joke guy,
sure.
And so how did you survive those days before you became?
Well, it was funny. It's like, I remember, because I was a writer, when I was in high school, I saw Stephen Wright live at the Cape Cod Melody Tent.
Yeah.
And I was just like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Before that, I'd watched SNL, I'd watched early Letterman.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I saw a comedian live, I was like, this is crazy.
And he was a different comedian,
He was like a
just
magician.
a perfect linesmith.
Yeah, it's like perfect comedian.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I want to do this. And then I just started writing jokes, and I had, notebooks of jokes. And then by the time when I was in college, I was working the door at the Washington D.C. Improv, and
great.
And
who came?
Yeah, great club.
Who came
and
through when you were a doorman?
It would be like Mitch Hedberg, David Tell, and Margaret Cho, and all these people who are great. Dave Chappelle and Brian Regan, and it was great. And then when I would work the road after I was 22 after college, I was working like hard gigs, and I remember like I would open for these guys. And I remember one guy, he just said to me, he goes, you're going to make it. Like I would do like not great.
Mm.
And he goes like, you're going to make it. And I was like, I literally go, why? Why do you think that?
That's a great question.
And he goes,
instead of thanks.
He goes, you're right. You write your jokes. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That wasn't enough information.
No, there was a lot of road warriors that did a lot of dick jokes. One guy I can't remember, but this guy was so hung they call him the human tripod, in loud bars. And so to survive in that environment, you start to get louder and faster and bluer. Right. But you actually craft.
Maybe he's saying, you're a crafty writer. You're writing good material. It will surface because if you get a crowd that listens, I think that's what you need. And some people can do it with this sound off. So the way you write, it's sort of like Nate does right now. He gets a quiet crowd that listens and waits for him. And so I think over time, like I've never heard one negative thing about your act or anything. And
usually that's nice.
Usually it's me kind of starting the gossip.
No, I don't want to fan
people.
out over you. I was watching you.
They're bad. You know what I mean? Just to get the thing rolling, just like, hey, it's kind of shitty, but I like some of it, but it's just, so I do that. But I think you've got a good rep out there, and I think that just grinds through and keeps your career going and keep getting better and better and better. That's a good thing to have because it's hard to stick around in the biz, as we all know.
I'd like to make an observation about that in a minute, but first I just want to know about your first set, because everyone remembers their first set.
So, it's funny. I just realized this. First set was funniest person on campus contest.
Love it.
At Georgetown University.
Love it.
Nick Kroll was in the contest with me.
Great comic.
And the host was Victoria Jackson.
Oh, really? That's a better story than I thought.
Love it. Love
You're
it.
so funny,
You're
Mike.
cute.
You're cute and funny up there. That's who she is. I mean,
I swear to God, I came off stage.
We love her.
I came off stage and it was like me doing a big character. There was a musical number. It was bananas.
Oh, you did a whole big giant thing.
Oh, back then, yeah, good job.
And I walked off stage, and Victoria Jackson, who I idolized watching SNL.
Yes,
and
great.
She goes, "You're gonna be a comedian."
I love it.
It was literally the first person in my life to tell me I'm gonna be a comedian. I was like, I can't believe it.
What's coming from someone famous, that means a lot.
It was great. It was a crazy experience because she on SNL, she would obliterate.
Yeah.
She would kill in sketches. So hard
and super cute.
So unique. I've said this before, but when I was in the 17th floor, and I think I had just gotten the show, and Victoria was there, and Lorne Michaels came up to me because he just had talked to her. And he said, "Dana, will you talk to Victoria and try to figure out what that's all about?" Because what
does that mean?
There's something funny there.
She's playing a character, but she wasn't. And that purity bounced off the screen on SNL. This innocence, this true innocence about her. But so what I was going to observe about, because we have stand-ups on this show, and as a stand-up, I'm pretty much good with a great stand-up for about 15 minutes. As Spade said at the 50th, I get the general gist. We know how but with you, and there's others, but it's personal. And so there's a through line in a story. I know, and I want to ask you about stand-up versus one-man show and the blurring of that. But I found myself really compelled of this idea when you tell maybe a story to your daughter, you make up a story, then she pauses and says, "And then what happens?" And so you subtly ride this narrative. And then you go for this moment where you just land a somber moment about your dad. You just say he felt sad, and it just sits there. And I'm like, so you're also balls out funny all the time. So it's very interesting. I found myself like, I'm literally going to finish it. I only got halfway through today because
thanks, man.
I want to know what happens. So it's anyway, that's all I had to observe. I'll let you guys talk now.
Well, that's definitely the goal. Like what happened was when I was in school, I was studying film and plays, like how to write screenwriting and playwriting. And I thought for sure when I got out of school, like being a delusional 20-year-old, I was like, I'm going to be a screenwriter. Yep. Of course, everyone wants me to write films.
All of Hollywood's waiting.
They're all waiting. Everyone's just looking for scripts.
Hurry, get out of school.
And so then the closer I got to graduation, the more I would talk to people in the business or adjacent to the business, and they're like, yeah, no one wants movie scripts at all, especially not from you who has no credits or credibility. And someone said to me, and I thought it was good advice. They were like, you should just keep doing stand-up because you're working the door and you're pretty good at it. And then eventually you'll be able to make movies. And so along the way, I started kind of merging playwriting and stand-up into a thing. And so when I think of the shows, I think of them kind of like what you're describing, like movies. Like in a movie, you have to have the scene lead to the next scene, so then the next scene, so then the next scene. And if it doesn't have that propulsion, you just shut it off. Like
people fade out.
Well, you're surviving laugh to laugh. Then the ultimate opposite of this.
But then I go, like I think where I met Spade was over at the Comedy Cellar one night, like maybe a year or two ago, and that's where I work out the joke part of it, because that's important too. Like you have to have the jokes work in isolation with audience members that aren't there to see you. That's the goal.
That's true. And then because it's different than stand-up, because stand-up is literally like if you go 30 seconds without some sort of laugh, you're like, what's going on? But if you have a one-man show and you're doing it like a story, you can have ups and downs and parts that are sort of dramatic. Is that what you're saying? Kind of.
Yeah. And like, I was lucky about, I don't know, 15 years ago, 17 years ago, I met up with Ira Glass, who's the host of This American Life on public radio. And he kind of taught me how to shape individual, like 8 to 10 minute stories. And I was doing this Moth storytelling series in New York. And so over the years, I got kind of hooked on this idea of like, oh, if you can have the jokes work and the story work and the larger show work, then like it's kind of a magical thing.
Who else is doing what you're doing of your generation? I mean, I know you knew John Mulaney, or John Mulaney and Nick Kroll and stuff. And is anyone else? Because it seems like you kind of stick out in this way right now. Well, if you consider yourself as a stand-up, but you're also a one-man show guy. So,
well, I produced Alex Edelman's show, which is called Just for Us, and it's definitely kind of in that vein. Okay. I mean, like. Jacqueline Novak. I produced Jacqueline Novak's show, Get on Your Knees, which is a little bit in that vein. Yeah, it was at Largo a lot, like in the last few years, and really funny. And
title's a bit, leading.
Billy Crystal had, I think it was called 1,000 Sundays.
That's right. Billy Crystal does it really well.
Had a narrative. Yeah,
he's fantastic. John Leguizamo does it, who's really good. He's another one. But like the format is actually really big in England. Like Edinburgh, like I went to Edinburgh Fringe Festival a few years ago for the first time. I had never gone. And I was like, oh, like 100 people are doing shows like this simultaneously, but it's just never really caught on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because with stand-up specials, I don't know now, but a few years back, it'd be like, you'd have maybe a current event chunk, or you'd have relationship chunk. And then you might have driving in cars, and how dogs are different from cats. And it would be
I have those.
Sort of an archetypal kind of, and then when it's one through narrative with all its different tributaries, I don't know. It sounds fun. If I wasn't lazy and went to College of San Mateo, I would do what you do.
Dummy alert.
You should though. I mean, you have a lot of great raw materials for it, because you had that whole health scare in the a few years ago. Like the things that you could talk about are endless.
That's true. All right, thank you.
That is true.
I've distilled it now to just kind of going back to sounds and trying to get people involved with abstraction. So it's a wholly different course, but I want them, like in junior college with my friends who were stoned, I would do a Star Trek bit and it would go on for 10 minutes and stuff like that. I've just I've gone full circle.
You can do your thing about the hospital and play all your organs. Just give them all like a little personality.
Hey, man, it was a bypass. 2 words that don't belong together. But he got 1 out of the 2 arteries right. So he's 50-50. You can't judge it.
Listen.
So,
that'll keep you in the NBA.
But, I mean, in a way, Shandling did it to a degree, right? Like he was very personal. It didn't have an arc necessarily, but like it was just very personal.
That's it. When it's personal, that's also another thing that attaches. If it's just abstract jokes, but when it's personal, I don't know, who do you like out there right now? And I was going to ask you about this phenomenon of people in the last 6-8 years playing stadiums or arenas. Like it was not so common 20 years ago. So what is that about? And would you like to play Madison Square Garden?
I feel like there's a handful, like, I'm trying to think, like Atsuko Akatsuka, who has an HBO special, I think is really, really funny. I think there's this guy, Chris Fleming, out in LA, who's from Massachusetts, really, really funny. I mean, I think like, I love Tig Notaro. I mean, she's in my sort of class. We sort of
personal,
been doing shows. Yeah, very personal. But it's weird. The stadium thing feels like it's got to end, right?
I feel bad when I'm going to Tempe next month, and people are like, oh, Sun Devil Stadium. I go, no, I'm playing a theater. They're like, oh. I guess a lot of people were playing Sun Devil Stadium. Like a lot of people are one.
One guy is playing, I won't say who he is, he's playing Nebraska. They're setting up
the whole
stage
state?
in the north border of Nebraska. They have They have speakers all throughout the state.
That's good.
So
That's
he's
big.
booked Nebraska.
That's a pretty
I made
big
that
state.
up. I hope.
Wow.
I would play the Four Corners.
I saw, I think, one or two shows at Madison Square Garden of comedy, and I was just kind of like, yeah, I don't know. It doesn't allure me, but I I filmed my special at the Beacon Theater. To me, that's like the perfect big venue.
Yeah, it's
like 2,700 seats.
Would your acts work
Yeah.
in a big 10,000 seater? Was it the same thing, or is it too small to listen to? I have trouble
I think with
some.
screens, I mean, because Nate is similar in some ways, but I think the screens must do it, I suppose. Otherwise, how?
Yeah, because I opened for Jon Stewart years ago at Merriweather Post Pavilion. That was like 9,000 people, and it was good. It's just like you're playing for television.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the screens. It's like you're just projected
and you're
onto
pausing
a 40-foot screen. Yeah.
I think it's great for your pocketbook, but it's not. I mean, if money wasn't any concern or anything, what is your favorite size room just for you having fun?
I mean, what's funny is in LA, I don't know if you guys go over there much, but like I think Largo is the best comedy room.
300.
Yeah. Unbelievable. And then in New York, the Comedy Cellar is unbelievable. It's 140 seats in a basement.
Yeah. I really think that just the compression of the energy, and it feeds around. And so for me, especially because I'll just get into some rhythm, and if I'm getting that energy, I'm just going to keep riding it, with some character. And so I do like 100-seater, 80-seater, low ceilings, for fun. It's fun.
Yeah, like my favorite thing I've ever done in comedy is like being at the Cellar and Chris Rock pops in and you're seeing him in front of 140 people like work out new ideas. You're just like, this is the craziest thing. It's like a fantasy sequence as a comedy fan.
Yeah. That's the fun of the Cellar. I think is wide. It's about 3 feet deep. And like if you go to the restroom in there, I think Colin was on last time I was there. And I had to go pee, and I'm like, no, because he'll see me for sure. It's just distracting. Like you have to walk right in front of him and everyone, and it's so small that it's too obvious. I have a question about that table the comics sit at. That's always curious to me. Who's allowed at that table?
That's a really good question.
Cellar.
I think even barely the comics are allowed at the comics table. Yeah. I was say some of the comics are allowed at the comics table. No, I mean, I love that place.
Table?
It's here's what I'll say. It's one table. There's an auxiliary table.
There's an auxiliary spillover table.
Yeah, there's a spillover. Okay. I think that when I was in my 20s and I was playing there, I would get, it's the early 2000s. I would get murdered by, Patrice O'Neill and Bill Burr and all those, Colin Quinn. Like it was all the tough crowd guys, Greg Giraldo.
Yeah.
And they would just rip me to shreds. I mean, it was a different
You mean
era.
if you sat there or they would just give you shit? That's who was sort of...
Yeah, if I sat there, they would just give me shit.
I love it.
Or even like Jimmy Norton was like that. He was in that group. And I love these guys. But like back then, like, because I was like this wide-eyed kid. It's funny. I remember one time, Todd Glass, who I know you guys know Todd. He's a brilliant comic.
Funny.
He was visiting me in town. And he came and he saw those guys just rip me apart at the table. Like, and he couldn't believe it. Like, I don't think he'd ever seen anything like it.
So
and he was like, why do they talk to you like that? And I go, I don't know, man. I'm new, I'm young, whatever. And then he brought up you, Spade. He goes, the only other person I saw this happen to was David Spade, because when he came to LA, he was immediately really good and young, and he got a lot of stuff fast, and so people like came at him really fast. Is that true? I've never even asked you.
That's the way of the world. But yeah, that was at the Improv. And the worst part was I was like, they're like, you're doing a movie already? I go, I guess. Aren't you supposed to? Is that? I mean, I've done 5 sets. I've paid my dues. But the Improv was a place where, like, it goes back to you saying you want to write movies, but to do stand-up was good advice, because you have to somehow be in front of people doing something, because people won't see you when they go. People in my acting class are like, oh, I don't do commercials. I don't do soap operas. I don't do this or TV shows. You go, if you're good, they will find you, but you have to be in front of something. You could find someone good even in a commercial. You go, or they just catch your eye. You have to be out there. And to stand up, you get to be at the Improv if you get on, or the Store now, and the Cellar obviously is very famous. But there's always someone, even if it's other comedians, like they might be writing something. You know who'd be good? This guy, because you're in front of them. And so I got stuff because casting people would just drift into the Improv and go, "Oh, I wasn't even here to see this guy." But they'll just grab somebody and go, "Oh, they'd fit. You know, we should." And that really helped me.
You did not look like a regular stand-up, David. You know, you had the long surfer blonde hair. You looked maybe 16 when you were 22.
Yeah. I watched Spade when I was in college. I watched your half hour, and it was
I love
perfect.
it. Thank you.
It was like a perfect half hour. You were like, you were probably young with that half hour.
Man. That was so great because I didn't realize that was one of the reasons I got spots at the Improv, because the chalkboard lineup, they wrote on the chalkboard in the old days, and it was Kevin Nealon and Leno and Seinfeld and Richard Belzer, and just guys that did not look like me. And I was just from Arizona. I was 20, and I had long blonde hair. So I think Bud Friedman was like, "Oh, we need one of you. You just look different. Just get up there and mumble around. I don't care."
Oh, sure. I do think there's no greater calling card than stand-up. If they know you wrote it, they can see you can land a joke, and in your case, they could see you're an actor. You could definitely, you know, and you've done movies and stuff. Sleepwalk with Me.
Do you bring that corkboard into your meetings to show how hard you work?
Is that full of Saturday Night Live sketches?
The yellow ones are the funniest.
It's just all jokes.
The pink ones are under construction.
It's literally just,
Are those your ideas, random ideas?
Yeah, that goes back to when I was 18 years old and I started writing jokes and just putting them on note cards on my wall. I still do it.
Well, they want me to have a background here, so I'm going to do that. I think it looks really
just a photo of that. It looks like very professional. Like, I'm so fucking busy.
If you could take a picture of that, send it to me. I'll blow it up.
You know what's funny about that is that it shows people that it's hard enough to do your act when you see it polished. This is the shit that you're doing all day to get something that works for 30 seconds. Like, to get anything that works is so hard.
No, I always say that to people who are starting out in comedy. It's like, I write 4 hours of comedy to do an hour of comedy.
And even now, when you have a good feel for it, and before you'd write something, it'd be like a random thing would work. But now you go, I think in my head, this will work. I did that last week because I have to work on new stuff. And I'm like, these 3 will work. And two didn't. And I'm like, why at this point do I still not know for sure what will work? It's so confounding sometimes.
Mike, have you ever written a bit or a piece of your special or whatever where you kind of thought, well, I don't know if I'm ever going to write something that lands this beautifully, like full circle, you know?
I think like, my sleepwalking story is like that, and to an extent, which is like, you know, basically 20 years ago, I sleepwalked through a second story window at a La Quinta Inn.
Did you fall? I've seen it. Did you fall?
Yeah, I jumped through the glass.
Okay.
And because I had a dream there was a guided missile headed towards my room, and they told me the missile coordinates were set on me. And so in my dream, and as it turns out in my life, because I was diagnosed with this thing called RBD, REM behavior disorder, I jumped through the window and I landed on the front lawn of the motel.
Oh.
I took a fall. I kept running, and I'm running. I'm slowly realizing I'm on the front lawn of La Quinta Inn in Walla Walla, Washington, in my underwear, bleeding. And the strangest thing is, in that moment, I was relieved that I hadn't been hit by the missile.
Right.
I was like,
so I could see
that would have been a disaster.
That story I could see where it's like, it's so nobody else goes, hey, I've heard that from a lot of
I've
people.
got one like
Everybody
that.
jumps through a window,
Super 8.
Especially La Quinta. But no, I could see where you kind of like, that's why, you know, you did a movie as well, right?
And you did. Yeah. And you put mittens on after that? Is that the rumor?
For a period of time, I wore a sleeping bag. A doctor told me to do this: wear a sleeping bag up to my neck and wear mittens so I can't open the sleeping bag.
So awesome.
So I did that for years. For years, I did that.
Did he say,
I don't do it
stay
anymore.
away from missiles?
He said, "Say with
that's
missiles
probably
in
the
the sleeping
smartest.
bag as well."
And
Yeah,
maybe think about the Holiday Inn next time.
Maybe
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first floor.
I don't trust La Quinta. So one thing I'm kind of curious about you, because I don't know in specific, like you in your career, like when was the first time you knew, okay, I'm going to make enough money. This is now my job after you graduate college. Okay, I'm good. This is what I'm going to do with my life.
I remember I had like one of those calendars from Staples, and
Yeah.
I would go through and I would in highlighter if I had a club week booked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it'd be like San Jose Improv, and it would be like, and you'd write in parentheses like 300. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like $300
for 9 shows, or whatever.
And then, it'd be like Cincinnati Go Bananas, 325.
Fuck,
like
it's going up.
Such such a small amount of money. And you would just, and every month I would go, if I can just make $1,325, I can pay my rent.
Again.
And it was probably like, I would say like a year into moving to New York, where I was like, okay, I think I can do this. And then,
But were you going in and out of town?
Yeah, I was driving my mom's station wagon that had like 130,000 miles on it.
To gigs.
all
A
over
lot
the
of them on the East
country.
Coast, thank God, right?
So when you were traveling like that, were you the MC or the opener or co-headliner?
I was the MC or the feature.
Okay.
I was the MC or the feature.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've just opened I opened for Hedberg a bunch of times. I remember I opened for Jake
Yeah, that's
Johansson, who was
Know
a
him
brilliant
well,
comic.
know him well from San Francisco.
Oh my God.
It's like comedy school.
And,
like Hedberg, you go, fuck,
yeah.
I get to sit in the side and watch this.
It's crazy. That was my favorite part of it. And then I got Letterman from
Ooh.
doing Montreal Comedy Festival. I did Montreal Comedy Festival in New Faces when I was 23.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
Eddie Brill saw me and was like, I think we could work on a set for Letterman. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, this is literally between SNL and Letterman. That's like all I grew up
Sure.
on. So I was like, this is crazy. And then it was like a year later. I
Letterman's
did
big.
So 24, you're doing a set on Letterman.
Yeah, it was bananas.
And for the
Wow.
crowd
It
at
was
home, it takes a year to buff out a set. Right? It does. It takes a long time.
Oh, yeah, for
They
sure.
have to keep seeing you and go, change that word. I'd put that sentence at the end. I'd open for the, and you're like, it'll do
What
good.
was
And then the fear factor going on of Letterman.
I know.
must-
What was your
Yeah.
headspace behind the curtain and you hear Letterman announce you? How were you? You were.
I remember
that's nerve.
I remember they came up and they go, do you want cue cards with your jokes of your jokes? And I go, no, I think I know the jokes.
Oh.
And then my brother Joe was there with me. And Joe goes, yeah, he wants the cue cards. Like he likes time to. And then I swear to God, I said my first joke. My brain, you're standing on like this like circle in the
Yeah.
middle of the Ed Sullivan
Shiny
Theater on the
black
stage.
floor.
The moment I said one joke, I forgot everything in my act. And I was like, I am so fucked right now. I am completely and totally fucked. And I look up at the cue card and I'm like, there's the other jokes.
What does it mean by says McDonald's? And you go, oh, I know what that means. Folks, I went to McDonald's last night.
We're good. And was it a
Travel.
He didn't invite people to the couch, but how good was that set? Was it good enough or
It
very
was-
good?
I think it was good enough. I think it was like, my agent, who was a new agent at the time, like he was kind of, he and I were the same age, which is always good. It's so funny when people always ask you, like, how do you get an agent? It's like, well, try to find someone who has like no career.
No clients.
You know what I mean? No clients.
Yeah.
And now he's like the biggest agent there is. Like he,
Mhm.
Mulaney and Kevin Hart and all these huge
Who was it,
people.
Dave
But at the
Backey?
time, it was Mike Berkowitz.
Mike Berkowitz. Okay. Oh, big.
But at the time he had nobody, and it was me. He had me and Greg Giraldo. That's who we had,
Okay. No, great.
and who was a brilliant comic.
Great comment.
And he was like, well, I could market you as like the youngest comic to ever do Letterman, which was a lie. It was like fully a lie.
I can think of lies.
So
It sounds good. And
yeah. So I would go to like Joker's Comedy Club in Dayton, which is like attached to like a strip club, and like and sells like dildos and dildo straws in the lobby, and they
Straws?
and they would have, it was like for bachelorette parties and that kind of thing. And then they would and then it would be marketed as like the youngest guy to be on Letterman. It was like literally a lie. It was just
not
a full
even
lie.
funny.
Yeah, not funny, not even.
But young.
But young. And then I figured out how to do an hour. But it's like, it's funny because when you're starting out, and I did like, God, I must have done like 175 colleges, like the one that you and I did in Rhode Island. But like, I mean, I feel like you figure out how to do an hour of comedy when they tell you have to do an hour of comedy.
Yeah, it's fucking hard. It's so
I'm sure
much.
you guys dealt with this.
I had the exact same thing because I was there just for a second and when the clubs were just being built, basically. So I think it was Laughs Unlimited in Sacramento, and not everyone had. I didn't have the time. They go, well, we'll headline you, but you need to do an hour. So that's why I got the guitar and did a few things, and I had props. I mean, I did anything to grab time. So go ahead.
But were you headlining on SNL? Because I got SNL as a middle. So when I got enough fame to go, it was gradual, but when I got to headline, I'm like, I don't think I could fucking headline. I barely have, my longest middle set was like 35. And then you got to go to an hour. And I'm like, an hour or 40? 45 is good. And they go, yeah, maybe an hour. We'll put the checks out. What about when they put the checks out and it stops your act in its tracks and you go, what? Everyone just
I remember I had done this show called Premium Blend on Comedy Central.
Oh yeah.
And someone saw me on it and booked me at a long defunct club called the Comedy Spot in Schaumburg, Illinois. And they just fully emailed me from my website, hey, can you come headline our club? I was, you're delusional when you're a kid. You're just like, oh, absolutely.
Just say yes.
I'll be right. I'll be there next week. I show up. First of all, no one shows up. No one's heard of this. It's like completely empty. It's like a new club. And I have 25 minutes of material. I mean, they're literally like, so you do an hour, the opener does 10. And I was like, okay, sounds good. I go out, I'm fully through my act at a half hour. And and that's how, what's weird is that's how you learn how to do crowd work.
You have to. I was going to say, got to go to the crowd.
Yeah.
Where you been? Where are you from? Yeah. Did you when you went on Letterman, did you have special clothes, or did you buy a jacket for the show, or did you just wear your regular clothes?
No, that was the whole thing. Is they always said you have to wear a suit because Dave likes. He's like old fashioned. He likes the
Seinfeld look, right?
Dave likes when you wear a suit, and so I bought my my first suit.
That's kind of cool though, but it's sometimes it's bad because I don't think me or Dana would be fully relaxed in a suit when you're always wearing something else on set. I go, what is the closest to what I always wear to make everything the same as a club? Because when I did my first TV spot, I walked out and I did like you with the cue cards. I was staring at the shiny floor and the crowd and the cameras going, I couldn't even think of my act. I was like, holy shit, this is what it looks like out here? I'm always looking this way. And then I'm like, deer in headlights. And they're like, go ahead and go. And I'm like, oh, okay. What else?
Yeah. I had a related thing with you, Spade, because I remember hearing you talk about when you would do Hollywood Minute on SNL and the people were mad. Because you're making fun of real people.
Yeah, they weren't really pulling for me.
He started an industry, kind of,
Yeah. Like, I remember doing a show on one of those VH1 Talking Heads shows.
Yeah.
And they were like, what do you think of Huey Lewis in the news? And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. He sucks, whatever the joke was. And I got an email from like a whole bunch of Huey Lewis heads who were just like, you fucking suck. Who the fuck are you? We don't know who you are. We love Huey Lewis. What of you? Who are you?
I got a lot of that because I was new. It was actually funnier that I was new and making fun of people because it was so out of the blue. But I always say it was the era of People magazine where celebrities were so adored and you forget that they're all trash now. But when back then to say, you see this movie? Yeah. Didn't they kind of suck in that? And everyone's like, wait, what? Why would you just said they were bad in something? And you're like, yeah, my friends went to that. It fucking sucks.
Boy,
and you're like, this is how real people talk. But they went, Ian, you know who helped me with Hollywood Minute? Bob Odenkirk.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, it's hilarious.
That's sort of the secret of Bob is he's like a silent killer.
Yeah.
Right.
And
he's like super nice Midwestern. And then behind the scenes, he's like, actually.
And he's smart. And he said, maybe frame it like, we were trying different things. I think it was like, guess what? You're an idiot. Like we were doing stuff about celebrities. And I think it was Michael Bolton. We know you got long hair in the back, but guess what? We all know what's happening on top. because it was like really thin up here.
Bob Odenkirk, and I think it was Smigel and myself, but they had, and I think it was primarily Bob, the grumpy old man that I did on SNL. Was the reverse of what you would expect, because the guy's like, we didn't have flame retardant sleepwear. If you went to bed smoking, you woke up engulfed in flames. Look at me, whoop-de-doo. I'm a flaming corpse, and I like it. I love it. And that was all Bob. It was such a weird twist on the classic old guy. I just wanted to insert for a second, because it's in my head, that wearing suits on talk shows. So initially I'd wear kind of a loose shirt, sometimes a t-shirt, a leather jacket, because the host was always older than me. It was either Leno or Carson or Letterman. And then when the host became older than me, like Jimmy Fallon in a suit, I can't wear a t-shirt. I'm older than him. I'm older than him. So then I switched to the suit. I just wanted to tell you that.
I remember I was so starstruck. I was opening for Pablo Francisco at Caroline's.
Guy's a killer.
Yeah. Unbelievable comic.
Killer.
And Jimmy Fallon came because they had been in an acting class together. And that was another one where like Jimmy Fallon was there and he came up to me, and I'm friends with Jimmy, still today, but like he came up to me afterwards and he was like, you're going to do this. You're going to do this. Like, you're going to make it, and I feel like sometimes that kind of thing, like the Victoria Jackson thing and the Fallon thing, like it does kind of get you through the hard.
It resonates. Someone real in show business said I was good.
That's right.
Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Now, this was
Jimmy
a week
told
ago.
Me about that. Yeah. Jimmy told me about meeting you and thought you were going to make it. And I said, you really think he's going to make it? I didn't tell him make it, but it's crazy. Sorry. I just do it. I do him as a sound. It's crazy. Sure. But I was going to ask you just this sort of overarching joke. Like, where are you now? Right now? Now you're going on tour? And when does this special come out on Netflix?
Is this The Good Life?
Comes out. The Good Life. The Good Life is out. I think by the time this comes out, May 26th.
Okay.
So
it's May 26th, The Good Life, Netflix.
On Netflix, and then I'm writing my next movie. My first movie was Sleepwalk with Me. My second movie is called Don't Think Twice, and I'm writing a third movie, which is like an ensemble comedy that takes place at a wedding about a bunch of old friends, and I'm just psyched about it. Like I'm taking some time off from stand up. I'm doing a few shows with Mulaney this summer. Being Fred Armisen and Nick Kroll and Mulaney are doing a bunch of outdoor shows this summer in Canada and Maine.
Fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just I feel like you never get to do shows when you headline as a comedian. You never get to hang with your friends doing shows. So I love that we're just doing a bunch of shows.
And you're
together.
Just in the mix there. You don't necessarily close or open. You're just going to be.
I'm not closing. No, I don't want to close.
It's still stressful for John. Even though it's fun, he's got to go out there and mop up.
John knows what he's doing up there.
John's a killer.
Yeah, he's a killer. So you're. I just want to ask for a second, like when you write a movie, do you have like 3 bulletin boards? First act, second act, third act. You start putting up ideas, or you're writing it. Like a story.
I do 2 bulletin boards. I go the story cards, the scene cards, and then the other one is the characters.
Right.
I listen to this great, if any aspiring screenwriters, I listen to this podcast for years that John August and Craig Mazin do called Script Notes. And it's like 600 episodes about screenwriting. Craig Mazin did The Last of Us. He wrote The Last of Us and directed it.
Amazing.
John August did Big Fish. Like, they're just like great writers. And, I just think like, I try to just think about everything. The reason I do the character bulletin board is like, I always try to think of everything being in relation to like, what would the character do as opposed to like, what would happen to the character.
And would you direct this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be the ultimate creative play boxes or toy boxes I can see, is to write and direct a movie. Get all the toys out there, all the actors, all the stuff, and then try to visualize your dream, basically.
Totally. I mean, like when I think about my favorite stuff, it's like, like James L. Brooks movies, like Broadcast News and Terms of Endearment. Yeah,
As
it's like
good as it
you know,
gets. What was that? No.
yeah, I just Mike Nichols' career. I love I love the idea of just directing a bunch of movies, and I hope that
And Kramer versus Kramer, or The Graduate, or
oh yeah,
I'm just trying to think in the sensibility that you're going for.
Great.
I would say close to the Graduate. Like I just love movies, and I feel this way about my specials too. I love things that have jokes and jokes and jokes, and then they kind of get you when you don't expect it emotionally.
Tootsie
was great.
Big comedy, but has all.
When
this,
the dad has to sit Dustin Hoffman down at the end and talk to him was.
But you know what's another one, by the way? Trains, planes, and automobiles. Sure. I feel like is like that. I just obviously Tommy Boy is that.
Tommy Boy has a little.
Well, that is true. We talked about Tommy Boy recently with the director and Chris at the end in the sailboat talking to his dad and stuff. I mean, it had that.
That was like a late addition, like how to wrap him up and how to make it all make sense, and it was so important.
The lore of Tommy Boy. Because that's such an iconic movie for me. It's like the lore of you guys talking about how you were just doing it like on like weekdays. You'd fly to Canada during SNL, and then you'd fly back. Like, what the hell? Like, doesn't make any sense.
It's why we're all crazy.
Sometimes in comedy, I don't know in your particular style, but sometimes money can get in the way, and too many days to shoot can get in the way. The first Wayne's World was such a low budget, 25 or 30 days. We just kept going. But in your case, how many pages will your script be?
Yeah.
When you're ready to shoot,
it'll be probably 100 pages, and we'll probably shoot it. Look, they'll probably say it'll be 25 days, and I'll just fight to try to get 28, 29 days. I mean, that's the thing that's so hard to explain about making movies. It's like you're just begging for time. You're just like, please, because you're just bleeding money.
You're going to miss something. You don't want to miss anything. You're like, I need one more take on this. I need one more location just to make everything better. If we could just, we need this. We need it. Yeah.
Would you have somebody like do a rough edit after every day, like a really quick digital edit so you can kind of see what you got?
Our editor was this guy named Jeffrey Richmond who actually edits Severance, which is a brilliant show. And he would do assemblies, but a lot of it would be he'd be like, hey, if you can go back into the kitchen and shoot a thing where she says, like, I don't have the hammer, that would really help us have this whole fucking thing make sense.
That's better than reshoots. I mean, then exactly. If the kitchen set is still around,
exactly.
Yeah. So basically, just to sum up on this internet, it's like you're busy. Life is good.
Yep. Good life. Netflix.
Right now for you creatively, it seems like you're very engaged and excited about this movie and everything you're doing. And you have plenty of work.
I'm excited about the special. Yeah. I'm excited to make my next movie. And I'm lucky. I live in Brooklyn with my wife and daughter. She just turned 10. We had like a birthday sleepover this weekend. The girls watched Clueless. It was great. I mean, it was just like,
is that 90s Clueless?
One. Yeah.
And see, those John Hughes, all those movies you can show as your daughter and as they
hopefully 10, they 11, like 12, them all.
13, yeah. Pretty in Pink, all those movies are just.
Well, she just started watching SNL, and so like it's really fun to watch her like get why it's fun, like get why the live aspect of SNL is kind of the best part of it, that it's just messy.
And everyone's in a costume or wearing a fake nose or whatever. And it's just, it's silly and ridiculous. It's a lot of pressure. But there's not much more fun you can have if you're in a good sketch on SNL and it's really doing well. It's pretty buzzy because it's going out live to a lot of people.
Well, thanks, Mike. It's great to see you again. And thanks for coming on with us.
Yeah, we enjoyed chatting with you, and say hello to John Mulaney and Nick Kroll or whoever else you're out there with.
All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. Just love the podcast, and I am honored to come on.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Now I'm going to go watch the rest of your special.
Amazing. Thank you.
All right, be well.
All right. I'll see you guys soon.
Take care.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all the stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman.
Let's slide
Okay,
into
so
it.
I went on the road, Dana, and this is where everyone's riveted and glued to their podcast. Like, oh, weekend 4,000 of Spade telling some dumb road story. Yes, it is. Yes, what if it is?
I love you on the road. I don't know if you love you on the road, but when I hear that you're on the road, it just lifts my day. I don't know why.
It's fun to hear from your chariot and your throne and your ranch, but when I'm out there grinding, so I go out there. I did a whole Ohio run. So it was 3 cities in Ohio. One I do not know of. It's called Newark. Had a hot little theater.
Nice airport.
It's kind of a, you know what? It's a small town. It's not, no, not Newark where all the planes crashed. This is Newark, Ohio.
Newark, Ohio? Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, that's what I said.
I was just playing Cleveland, Montana. So anyway, go ahead.
Exactly. That's what happened. I go, even people in Newark are going, are we in New Jersey or are we in Ohio? I don't understand what's going on.
I don't trust anything they say.
Yeah. Then I went to Dallas, Arizona. Joe keeps going.
Oh,
I like Cleveland, Montana better.
Cleveland, Montana, probably real.
You can't beat that one. So, by the way, I love this. When did this plant grow back behind you?
What? I'm a horticulturalist. I like nature.
I'm a horticulturalist.
I'm a horticulturalist.
I'm a horticulturalist.
Look, apparently having knickknacks and plants behind you when you do a podcast exponentially pleases the audience. They
blows up the audience.
I had no knickknacks. Now I've got that little special. Plus, I want everyone to guess what is in that fly on the wall thing email, and I won't move what I put in there. And next week, if you win, you'll guess what is in that. I'll reveal it on the next Superfly.
Oh shit!
So email us or comment on us and guess.
Yeah, I don't even know if there's any way to get a hold of us, but do it. And and YouTube maybe they can do it.
Yeah.
Also, the people, what they say is they watch the whole podcast and they don't mention one joke. They go, Dana's drawer has weird handles, and you go, that's all you got from this whole motherfucking thing?
Hey man, this is our core audience. These are people who love us. They see the details. The drawer handles are the biggest thing. Look, I don't understand what this new art form is, but I'll tell you one thing. This morning, I saw more short films done by ChatGPT or whatever, and it's getting weird. You really can make a film on your laptop now.
Why do they need us for anything, or are we sort of obsolete? We've got a full week left, I'm sure.
Well, what the skill set is learning how to talk to the robot. You prompt it. David Spade and Theo Vaughn are running away from an army of 10,000 people. And then you'll see it. You don't have to get the 10,000.
I mean, that's kind of fun to see that. Yeah. It's kind of fun to have the power to go Spade chased by Godzilla in Scottsdale.
Spade journeys to the center of the earth in a spaceship, or center of the universe in a spaceship. So anyway, it's just coming. I'm just saying.
Look out. They go, Spade goes to do a show in Ohio and doesn't bomb. And ChatGPT goes, I can't come up with that. I can't do that.
Or something. I actually tried it this morning. Spade gets 5 standing ovations. And I waited 10 minutes for seeing you get the standing ovation. And then it just came up skull and crossbones. I don't know what that meant, but
the ChatGPT couldn't pull it off. They go, oh, Heather jumped in. She asked ChatGPT if Dana was in a gang because he's wearing it. Oh, they gave me comments. She asked, what does David Spade do? Or what did you say? Oh, what's his comedy about? Oh, he crunches leaves and walks in circles. It's good stuff. Positive stuff. Yeah.
I put it in. I said, is David Spade funny? And it just gave me an emoji like.
It gave you this guy?
I don't know.
I mean, some people say so. I don't get it.
Some people say.
ChatGPT, we don't get it in the robot. Here's what you have to learn if you're in ChatGPT. You got to learn how to say down robot, because they can get out of hand. I saw a girl look like a robot. I told Heather she had so much Botox, her forehead is a little round, and then she had painted on eyebrows. I go, looks like something from iRobot, you know? We're starting to look all the same. It's all bad.
We're trying to say robot. Our goal is to say robot 100 times this episode. And we're halfway there. I'll take a win.
Hang on. We haven't done this yet, Dana.
Uh-oh.
One of my shows in Cleveland was right next to a clinic. Dana, guess what? I ordered you something else online.
Where is
the things I do for Dana? I don't have it yet, but Heather and I are ordering it because I saw some other doohickey. I go, oh yeah, we gotta have it for Dana.
Wait a minute. I am a minimalist, as you know. I don't have, or I don't want anything, but I really want that fucking thing because whoever invented that sound, was it the 20s or the 30s?
I know it worked still.
It's so perfect. And after you make love with someone, you put that on and says it all.
They go,
womp, womp.
You said your wiener was going to go straight up. I go, yeah, I've said it before, but take a look. Camera pans down.
No wonder Debbie Downer was a hit.
So she goes like this. Yeah, she had a funny. Now, Dana, I would get to how I stayed next to the Cleveland Clinic, and it was tubulated into my hotel with another hospital. So you could walk because it's cold, you know?
Right.
And what happened was it was like an ant farm, and all these sick people were just coming into my hotel because I was in between. So I'm like the nice hotel hospital bed, basically.
So the hotel on both sides, and a tube takes it through your hotel?
So a clinic, which is very well known, and then in like a hospital or a university.
Yeah, Cleveland Clinic. Yeah.
Right, very nice. And then they have tubes because it's so cold out. They're smart. Like the second floor, third floor, you walk around the city, you can sort of connect, which is such a great idea. We should do it in Arizona because it's so hot, but it's cold there. So you do that. So when I get on the third floor every day, I'm like, I don't know if this is a normal hotel. Everyone's pushing an IV. So I go, what's going on? They go, we got some spillage from the spillover. Yeah. So
spillage.
Yeah, because it's just, by the way, germ. And no offense, but germs obviously everywhere. And then doctors on there and everyone, and the doctor goes, I go, I know you, third floor. He goes, no, I'm going to 8. Actually, I have a patient here.
Well,
that's the last one.
No, there's 2 reasons it's funny. One is it's funny. It's a funny sound. The second reason is how much joy you get by doing it. So there's 2 lanes of funny.
Joyous.
So the fact how happy you are, I don't ever want you to stop until you're not happy making that sound.
I know. And it makes you sort of happy adjacent to watch me try to milk bits out of this thing.
Right. Well, that's, that's the last thing you want after you come out of surgery is that sound. Now hit it. How'd it go, doc?
Ready?
How'd it go, doctor?
They go like this. Here's the last thing you see. You go, Dana, you're about to go under. You're going to count to 10. And then you say, okay, I'm a little nervous. They go, you shouldn't be. We've done sex change surgeries before. Wait, I'm going under. Oh. Dana, by the way, you look a little loopy today, and you want to say why to our viewers?
Yeah, I had a little minimally invasive surgery for a hernia. Yeah.
And they went through your head? Look at this hat he's got on.
I haven't been able to
Oh, yeah, you can't.
For 3 days, and I had a really cool Pendleton cowboy hat that got lost. I was going to wear that.
And that would have been great.
I'd look like Christian Bale in 310 to Yuma. Look it up. So then at the last second, this was on top of the dryer. So yeah, I had a pain, and these glasses. So I had a pain pill, whatever that is. So I'm a little loopy.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I don't cancel. It's only been 36 hours since I. But yeah, they stitch you up. They go down the ding. And, everyone's like, oh, I had it. I felt nothing. Well, guess what? I felt something,
Yeah. I think I was the only one that was brave enough to say it is. Mine was a double, which whatever that means is just a little more tricky. We have the same doctor, which is funny.
Right.
Mine was bad, Dana, because when I did it, the doctor said, "Oh, it's outpatient or whatever."
Right.
And I woke up and I go, "I'm not going anywhere." My brother come out, and he carried me, put me in a wheelchair. I was like, because your like muscles are cut, so I was like, "Oh fuck!" He carried me like a baby, like the bodyguard,
a little baby.
and add insult to injury, my dipshit neighbor dug in his front yard and cut out all the power lines. So I got home and I couldn't get in the gate. It sounds like Rich problem is a gate. And then so my brother had to bump the gate, open his back, carry me all the way into the house, which was pitch black, no electricity. So he terrifyingly puts me in the bed, and I'm just like this. I can't get up if there's a fire, if there's a problem. I'm like, this is so scary. And I'm on my pain pills, which I don't like taking for any real reason. I just want to take them for fun. And so I'm laying there, and then I've got a catheter jammed up the wazoo. It's up to my ribs. I think they went in too deep.
I turned down the catheter. I said, "Yeah, I'm cool."
Oh,
I'm cool.
Dana.
Yeah, it's optional. You could have just said, "Mm-mm."
No, because I didn't want to get up and pee. I couldn't stand up. My brother the next day had to pick me up and just swing me around just for fun. I don't know why I asked that. But.
How big is your brother? Was this a cyclops?
What a job. He's like, I came out here to take care of you. I don't want to do literally everything. And then I'm like, can you check my catheter? It feels a little loose. He's like, I'm sorry, what?
We had the same surgeon who's great. He's world renowned. But, I get in there and they're kind of like, well, he's got a special case right now. So he had an extra large person. And it took like 3 to 4 hours. So I waited. And then when he came in, I said, "Are you all right, dude? Do you need a snack or something?" Because he looked
He's wiped out.
He looked,
oh, your stomach hurts when you laugh.
Yes.
Dana.
Not my stomach. It's the groin area.
Groinial.
I'll be fine. The guy did a great job. Brilliant surgeon. Super nice guy. And, what are you going to do? I just think you should manage your expectations. He asked me before I went, are you nervous? I go, surprisingly, no. And he goes, you should be a little nervous.
Jesus. He goes, I'm nervous as shit.
Yeah.
But he said, I just did this huge, I don't want to say fat guy, but like monstrously humongous fat guy. And he goes, I'm wiped out. But I say we just get this one, knock it out. Then we can all go to lunch. And you're like, yeah, let's just buzz through this one quickly.
Well, they always say it's a chip shot in golf, like meaning that it's easy, but chip shots are not very easy. So I don't know where that came from, but he did a great job. And I just will be glad when I don't feel pain getting up and moving around. But I'm fine as long as don't make me laugh or I'll be in pain. So now you have a challenge.
Well, I won't do it. Believe me, you're in no danger. I when I was in there, they go, it's the third day. We think we're going to get your catheter out. I didn't want to look. It's so crazy that even happens because it goes into your wiener. You know what that is medically?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like a number 2 pencil. It's way too big to be in there. So goes in there and then she goes like this. They just pull it out, right? And what happens is the way it stays in, just to sicken everyone, you might want to pull over, is at the end, it's got a little, like a balloon, like goes, so it stays in, doesn't slide out. So one time they forgot to deflate that part and started yanking. I go, I can't hear it.
Well, see, you're making me laugh again. That is hilarious.
It's hilariously horrifying.
That is so funny.
But other than that, I think I'm glad you're okay. You were very tough.
This is the loopiest I've been on the podcast, even more than when I had dental work right before I came over and did the podcast.
Right. And also, you're being tough because you look a bit of a gangbanger today, which is kind of cool. And tough guy with the plan.
I'll just announce it. I mean, this is my new look. I mean, there's no logical reason for me to look anything other than what I look like now. Because I can see it and go, well, if you can look this cool and this badass, why would you look wimpy? I mean,
I'm picturing it like it's just black hair and it looks funnier. Like that's just your black hair grown in.
I'm doing an edge. I'm doing edge with Bono and Edge. Yeah.
Oh, this is the edge. That's right.
Oh, it looks like hair.
Okay. It looks like hair. I picture it looking like hair and it's funnier to me.
Right. That's good.
Like
I'm happy
bangs.
I'm happy for you. One thing, do you have more road stories besides the hospital one?
No, there's no real. That's not even a real story. But yes, that's it for the road. What else you got? Dana, I'm a little bit of a spendy Susie, if you know what I mean.
A boozy Susie and a spendy Susie.
Yeah, I'm more of a boozy Susie, but yeah.
You are a spendy spender. Yeah.
And a lot of our listeners are nice enough to write in and say, you look like you drank a lot and slept on your face. But that's just constructive criticism.
Well, it's very concise, and you don't really drink very much. I'll tell the fans, but
just puffy. This is where Klarna comes in. Klarna is your everyday smarter spending partner, which is what a lot of people need. A lot of my friends definitely need it. It allows you to make smarter decisions with your money, and it's sometimes good to have a partner like that.
And I'll say it again, Klarna, which I assume is Swedish. Klarna is your smarter everyday spending partner.
Shoppers can use Klarna's Pay in 4 product to split their purchase into 4 interest-free payments.
That's right. Here's some key takeaways. Listen up, brother. Klarna offers a Pay in 4 product where you don't have to pay interest. I think that's a good thing.
You can pay with Klarna at merchant checkout, in the Klarna app, or with the Klarna card.
You can also compare prices at your favorite stores and earn cash back when you shop in the app.
They're making it effortless for in-app shoppers to get more value from every purchase. So choose Klarna at your favorite retailers or shop now at Klarna.com. CA resident loans made or arranged pursuant to a California finance law license. NMLS number 1353190.
Klarna, balance account required. Klarna may get a commission. Limitations, terms, and conditions apply.
They do.
I'm just going to say it. It's a Klarna summer. The thing that made me, I don't know, it's sort of weird that, you see these there's driverless cars, Waymos, right? And they're all over LA. And then eventually, and then you see the little cars, see the Waymos, and they're kind of cute. And you do extrapolate into rooting for the Waymo. There's no driver, but it's an AI, but you sort of watch it. Oh, I hope it makes the right turn. So during the local festivities in downtown LA, people who were protesting decided to call the little robot Waymo to come pick them up, and then they would explode it or burn it up. So the Waymo... Actually, they've installed a little AI voice like, yes, sir, right away, downtown LA. See you in 19 minutes. Oh, there you are. I'll pick you up. What the fuck? You're going to explode me? Oh, my fucking God. That's horrible. So
is that a bottle of booze? Oh, it's gas inside. Why is there a rag on top? Wow, what did I do to you?
Please don't explode me. I don't want to be exploded. So anyway, I just felt like that was kind of a nasty thing to do. But
I don't know if the riots were anti-Waymo. I don't know what was going on.
I don't know what they would. Please don't deport me. But then they had Mexican flags they were waving. You'd think, like, where do you want to go? What? I mean,
I know. I think the message is a little confusing. I get the message of if people have jobs and they're doing and they're contributing. I didn't think that's what this was all about, but that is the message, I think, and it's getting blurry when it gets more riotous. And there's professional rioters that definitely come into this, and they are here to shake shit up and cause trouble. And when it gets like that, it gets away from the original intent, and then it just turns into chaos. And then it's looting, and it's all these problems, and then no one even knows what's going on. And they bring in the National Guard to ideally just make people go, hey, just stop. We got to just stop what we're doing and just figure this out instead of it's getting worse. You don't want it to get worse. And back in 2020, we can't burn down the city again. It's just too much. It's too much, hurts too many businesses, hurts everyone. And they got the Olympics coming and they got World Cup. And so, I feel like, first of all, I saw it. I thought it was a rerun. Second of all, I was like, I've got a great solution, Dan, and you're going to love this.
All right, here we go.
We send in Bonnie Blue. Do you know Bonnie Blue? Heather likes this idea. She's the one that had sex with 1,000 people. She could try to have sex with all the people.
Yeah.
at the protest.
10.
Then it turns into a fun thing.
Right. And it still can get its message across.
Yeah. It gets a little watered down with Bonnie Blue, but she brings joy because her next thing she's doing is I don't know if Heather heard this one. This isn't putting women, it's not projecting them forward. It might be inching them back because she is going to go in a glass cage and let 24 hours, whoever wants to come in, do whatever they want to.
This was already done, an experiment.
Oh.
And it got very, very violent.
I do remember one girl just stood there and said, do what you want to me.
They started very minimal.
And then they like slapped her and they punched her and then they...
There was blood at the end and strangulation and everything.
I think she's just going pure, have sex with me. I mean, it's sort of whatever you want, but I don't think she's there to play cricket.
Yeah.
It might be a little different. This woman had all sorts of tools laid out. She might not be having.
Oh, tools.
To either have sexual interaction
Or to hurt her.
Or hurt. Physical, they can do whatever.
That was like an art piece. This one's a little less arty in my mind.
Yeah.
A little lower on the art scale and more on the horn dog boner scale.
That's a bit of a stretch. Human beings, whatever they can think of, eventually they'll do. So someone thought of that. Hey, how about I do 10 men? And then an hour later, all right, I got you. I'm going for 1,000. By the way, I have to say, living in California and over the years, having people from south of the border, from different countries, working for us and with us, very hardworking, patriotic people. So I don't want those people bothered at all. So just wanted to go on record. They pay taxes.
Of course. I think the idea is part of the people think that everyone comes over the border is horrible and part think that everyone is great. I think there's a huge percentage that come over to have a better life. And then there's some that play our system because we clowned it up and just opened it. And so if you open it, other countries say, hey, if I'm a bad guy, this is our chance to get in and get settled. And now I can cause trouble if that's what I want to do. But there's a ton of great people here and
it's a messy thing, but you want the criminals to kind of not hang out.
Well, I don't, we want to get rid of people and then you don't know why they're down. Like if they're going in to get someone that, like if you told me someone I knew was also a trafficker, I wouldn't know that, but they might know more than we do. So they might have a reason, but I don't know. I don't like that they're just grabbing regular people, of course, because people are here working for 10 years and they're trying to do it right. And it's getting muddied by the people that do it wrong. And it's just a big mess. This Bonnie Blue thing might not fix it. And then if not, I'm out of ideas.
I'll hold that thought. I mean, I'm not gonna shit on the Bonnie Blue concept. I'm not gonna.
You're not going away from that just yet. You're not going to throw it away.
I'm not gonna punt if football on that. It's just,
that's our best option right now. But and if there's a better one, I'll take it. But right now, that's the placeholder.
I live in a sanctuary county. I think LA is a sanctuary city. It's a sanctuary state, basically. So, but anyway, it's messy. I don't want anyone to get hurt. And I just want us all to live in peace and harmony. I'm from the 60s. I'm an old hippie, basically. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want the looting, the fires, the burning. It just doesn't help anyone. And it's a lot of nice people down there that have little businesses. You're like, just let them be. They don't want to be a part of this. No one does.
No. And again, just in the macro, if you think of the United States government and the California government, the local government, you want them to take care of the national parks, make sure they tax and help people and do all that. But I have two things I want from the government. The first thing is to protect me from enemies outside of the U.S. And the other thing is to protect me from criminals in my neighborhood. So those are the two, number one and number two things I want. So law and order downtown just creates more jobs, more businesses. And I'm running against Karen Bass. I should announce that. Once I get off these pain pills, I'll start the campaign.
They asked Joe Exotic what he thought of her, and he goes, "Karen Bass, you bitch." Sounds like that's the whole thing. Carol Baskin, it sounds like it.
And the reaction to that, no, you were going to play him, and now you do the best impression of him.
Now I just do an impression of him. That's like the only one I got left. Okay, other than that, the World Cup. But what they will do is, I don't like the skim job of when Gavin Newsom had the leader of China come to San Francisco, he cleaned up all the homelessness and everything and all the drug people for 1 week till the guy came, and then he let it go to shit. It's like, why don't you just fix it for people in San Francisco? Don't fix it for someone. So when the Olympics come, he's just making more of a problem. They're going to have to clean up downtown and graffiti. They want it to look pristine, right?
Well,
or move the Olympics.
The Olympics are funny because every city that hosts the Olympics tries to go all out, paint everything perfect, get rid of the weirdos, and just make it it's a big
poop in the river
PR stunt. But
they tried to in France. They tried to hide the poop in the river. Remember, they all threw it in the river.
Or they threw it in the river and thought it would flow through and no one would notice. And the swimmers went in and went, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
Okay, go ahead. What were you saying?
They should do the Olympics in the San Francisco Bay Area because it's too fucking hot in LA in August. And the Bay Area has a much more temperate climate. It has all the facilities. I'm just saying there's Stanford University for the track and field, swimming. Yeah, it's got redwood trees. It's a much better climate. But LA, I don't know. I wish them all the best. But they got to clean it up.
Well, let's get to the stories. That was a big story in LA this week because everyone's talking about it. But everyone's waiting to hear what's our take.
It's kind of ongoing. I mean, the latest thing, which I thought was kind of funny title, was anti-king or not a king. We don't want a king.
Oh yeah,
like Trump.
That's Saturday.
Yeah, I thought it was just sort of funny. The way Trump is, he'll dress up as a king with a crown and come out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was thinking, did he do something like that? Or they're just saying in general he feels because he's bringing tanks out to
whatever they think he's doing, they think it's too much. So
I think those are going to be in every city, though. So look out Saturday.
Right? Look out Saturday. Mm-hmm. Don't go to Burger King.
You might want to stay in. Okay, let's play a story of one of our stupid stories, and we'll comment on it, which we all find out at the end of the show. We're all AI or something.
Let's see.
We're tricked every show.
I'm going to be honest this time with my response. I'm not going to be joking around.
All right.
I'll let you know. All right, go.
Okay, ready. Whenever we're ready. By the way, you like this color on me, Dana? It's called maroon, I think.
It matches perfectly with everything in there, but that one sign behind you is pretty bright. The silver one. Mm-hmm.
This one, the YouTube. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would never do the weather. Yeah, that one we're going to switch out. Okay, Dana, there's a term you might not hear a lot called ED.
Phone home.
Close. ED, get harder. Yeah, this is Hims is you know what Hims is?
Hims,
one of our sponsors.
Absolutely. Sexual
Hims
health.
absolutely helps you get confidence back.
Mm-hmm.
ED is out there and it's very prevalent. Mm-hmm. People don't talk about it. We do. We're not afraid.
We're not afraid to go into personal areas and help our audience with
this has
their problems.
Treatments that get things going and go longer. And
I mean, if you're feeling a little stalled out in the bedroom, through Hims, I'm just saying, David, you can get some of the gas back in the tank, if you know what I mean.
I do, yeah.
And guess what? It's personalized ED treatment options that are accessible without ever stepping foot into a doctor's office. Get it? Got it?
Yeah. Listen, Hims is just changing men's health care because they get access to affordable sexual health treatments from your couch. You have to go into the doctor.
That's right. Hims provides access to a range of doctor-trusted ED treatments like chewable tablets.
Chewable.
Viagra, Cialis, and their generics for up to 95% less.
It's funny because sometimes you're out making out in the car. It's not your fault. And then down there, it's going like this. Are we doing this? Are we doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And then things start to happen. And then like, oh, we're driving again. Oh, we're at the door making out. We doing this? Oh, no. So sometimes it's not your fault. Like, it's just a matter of reps. Like, and then when you really want things to happen, it's like, give me a second. Relax.
You want your sex life to sound like this. You don't want it to sound like this.
Oh, exactly what I was thinking. Listen, there's no doctor visit. You just fill out a form. Medical provider will determine the right treatment option. You know, if they prescribe it, it goes right to you.
Process is 100% online. So there's no need for the uncomfortable doctor visits. Like, let's take a look and see what's going on. None of that. No insurance needed. Like you said, one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/superfly. That's HIMS.com/superfly for your personalized ED treatment options. hims.com/superfly. The featured products include compounded products which are not approved nor verified for safety, effectiveness, or quality by the FDA. Prescription required. See a website for details, restrictions, and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Well, if Diddy's off, what do you think of Diddy as a host?
I think, can Diddy get off? He might, right?
If Diddy gets off, they're really circling this trafficking because they're saying, if you flew a girl to Vegas and gave her $1,000 spending money and then had sex with her, that could be sex trafficking because you brought someone over state lines, gave them money to have sex. So that's a small version of it, which has been done every day since the beginning of time. But the actual stuff he's doing is basically, it's going to be one of those lawyer things, Dana, where he goes, listen, do I want to go bowling with Diddy? No. Is he a gross pig? Yes. Does he do all these horrible things? Not a great guy. Is he on trial for being a great guy? No, because he'd lose. But is he a sex trafficker? Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is what we're judging him on, not all this. This is all noise. It's gross noise.
I know.
It's pretty rough and tumble over there in the old Diddy household.
I know. I'll bet that guy already has his closing statement. He's just going to go, P. Diddy, a shitty guy, but didn't do anything illegal. Boom.
Yeah. He goes like this. In closing, I like to say, P. Shitty over here. I call him that. You should too. He's a fucking asshole. This guy, gross. What he's doing makes me cringe. Is he a sex trafficker?
This guy is crude. He's rude. He's obnoxious. He's
lewd.
He's lewd. He's a sex fiend. He has too much money. No one really knows what he does. But is he a sex trafficker? No.
We gotta let him walk out. He's got a table tonight at a club.
He'll go out.
If he gets off, he's gonna be the king of the world. He'll be like, everyone will be like, easy. There's definitely people that will treat him like a hero. Of course, like, oh man, you beat him. He won't miss a step.
Yeah, and the guy who's going to give the closing statement is.
I like you. Still talk like the lawyer. You go, yeah,
yeah.
Who is the guy giving the closing statement?
Mr. Bill Cosby. You see, the ladies like the baby oil all the time, and P. Diddy just did the baby oil dismissed. I haven't done Cosby in 2 years, so I'm a little.
I know that's a pretty good one. Cosby was the mentor.
Is he a jerk? Is he this? Is he that? Is he a criminal? Nope. Dismissed.
Not a great guy.
David, give us a topic and I'll riff on it and then you tag me. This is not planned.
Okay. There is a
what?
We're not going to do this one. It's too controversial. There's a How to Train Your Dragon sequel.
Why is
it's
that?
live action? It's not. God, I had a good one though. I'm looking at Yahoo News. Yahoo. Okay, I'll set you up with this one. No. Oh, Brad Pitt asked if he'd work with Tom Cruise again, and he gave one stipulation. I can't click on it though. God dang it! What do you think it is?
They'd have to do the vampire movie again.
Oh, I know what we can talk about. Heather's Precious, Sydney Sweeney's soap. No, it's bathwater. Sydney Sweeney.
Is she selling beauty products?
She's selling some of her bathwater that they're going to put in soap that guys can whack off to or something. It's soap with a hole in it, I heard. That part is the best hook of all.
So
Dana's like, this is the crumbling of America.
So, and I don't want to think that Sweeney is selling male sex toys, basically.
Yeah. You know what? Now that you position it like that, yes.
Is she publicly traded? Can I buy her as a stock? Because that thing's going to go fucking ballistic.
Yeah, her ex, during the movie with Glenn Powell, they did that fake romance.
Right.
I don't know if you remember this. It might be a little out of your orbit, but
I know about that. Mm-hmm.
The girlfriend just finally said that she was very miffed by the whole situation, which she should be. I have to take her side that she was flying out to Australia, and he said, "You know what?" She said, "Like Kamala, don't come, don't come," because he says, "This is where he got I thought a little rude. The producers and I talked. We don't think you should fly out here because it would hurt the fake romance there that he's cheating." And she was like, "That's when I decided I should go." By the way, if you're telling a female, "Oh, me and my producers decided," why would they have anything to do with,
I don't know.
offensive?
I haven't had that experience, but it must be odd if your significant other, your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, and is just doing basically softcore porn on a movie set all day. It just must be odd. I mean, you'd like to go there and look, right?
And off camera. She wanted to come check in on those because she heard rumors and she buzzed out. She was going to buzz out there and they said, "Don't buzz." And so, but I met Glenn Powell recently. I thought he was a super cool guy. I'm a guy. I'm from a different world. Like I'm not in this thing with her. So, but she did make sense to me. Like I would get the offensiveness of, you should tell me this is all fake. And you should tell me that you wouldn't cheat. And she goes, he wouldn't say that.
I know, but if you do that too much, it seems like the opposite is true. Honest, baby, I'm telling you, man, nothing's going on. I think she's ugly, kind of thing.
Yeah. You go, Sydney Sweeney, that gross. Are you joking?
Is this
Are you joking?
Are we on some kind of candid camera show? Is this
a joke show?
Is this a prank show? The idea that I would be attracted to Sydney
or turned on,
or somehow because we're naked under sheets for hours filming that it would mean anything. Are you out of your mind, darling?
That's good. It's always gaslight. What's going on? Oh, something happened on my computer. So that's Sydney Sweeney. And I get why the girlfriend Gigi got a little sideways. It's not my business. That's never kept me out of anything. It's not my business.
I think it's only human and natural for her to kind of go, whoa,
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, Sydney Sweeney's a monstrous star and Glenn Powell's a huge star. It just, any relationship, it's a tough ride when people are blowing up.
He's a male leading man. She's a leading woman, and they do a lot of sex scenes in their films.
It's really, and she's gorgeous. It's like three good looking people. So I'm sure they'll all land on their feet. Okay. Here's the next story. And then we're going to wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up.
But I got one that'll affect you because someone sent me this and I did see this story. Mike Myers involved in the Diddy trial. Did you hear that? They said
I've heard, a lot of these things.
What is it? Is the idea that his parents, because I think their parents were British, Mike's parents?
From Liverpool.
Okay, right.
Like
so
like the Beatles. Yeah.
They might be. What is the thing? Is that his parents had jobs in something over there, so they're trying to find a link?
You know what? I should text him and find out.
We should find out to clear it up.
Because I didn't even want to bring it up. I thought it was one of those silly things. The initial thing that I saw was a picture of him as Austin Powers, and he's looking at himself as Dr. Evil, has his pants down. You see his butt, and on Dr. Evil's butt is a tattoo of P. Diddy.
Is that true? Is that in the movie?
I only, this is.
It could be fake. It could be in
fake.
the movie as a joke.
But
yeah, Well, I don't think there's anything nefarious going
and
on.
then
but
there
I do
was
think it's
rumors that
funny.
Mike took a tour of the CIA facilities. I just assume everything's fake until I
Mhm.
hear otherwise. You know,
Or there's also a reason. I mean, curiosity. It could be anything. You don't know. And but we should ask him. We can
Mm.
clear it up for him. Or he can come on.
Mhm.
He's a friend of the show.
Friend of the show. It's Wayne. I was, I'm Garth. He's Wayne. I've always got his back.
Yeah,
You
it's
know.
fucking Garth and Wayne.
Garth always vouches for his friend. By the way, I just didn't want people to go without seeing my movie poster. Tell me, is
Okay,
it too?
The Godzilla. Oh, you
Yeah.
tilted down. You're smart. I think it's cool. It may just get a little more in evidence. So maybe on that door or maybe right behind the plant or something.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
up on the wall instead of. I like it.
Do you?
Do you?
Do you really?
You do.
Just trying to do something colorful because I had the white wall and apparently people. Is he from a low, low crime facility or something?
Is he chained to a radiator and
I mean, I move around too, so
double tree in? Yeah. Well, I think you gave it 120% today, Dana, and everyone's applauding you. You got 1 million birthday messages on YouTube last week. They were very nice. People like
that's
you.
nice.
God knows why.
Yeah, I don't really. I should have checked them, but I don't know. I like to have a little fun at one point every day, even if it's watching the basketball game with an ice cold beer or whatever.
You're going to watch tonight, Friday, the Pacers. I don't have to wink on that one. The Pacers are playing tonight. I saw the game.
Yeah.
The other night.
Right. The other night. Yeah. That was, it's turning into a really, really exciting series.
It's a bit of a battle royale.
Uh-huh.
I think it's what everybody wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. No one's walking over anybody else. So
yeah.
It's fun.
What about the shot? Who was on the side of the court to prove that you saw it? Caitlin Clark was sitting with who? Go.
Caitlin Clark was sitting with other WNBA people, or
yep.
Angel Reese. I don't know. Was she with a celebrity?
No, I think it was 2 other players. I thought you knew. I think one.
One was Reggie Miller was in the stands when they were playing in Indianapolis.
Right.
Yeah.
She was with 2 other gals from the WNBA, but I don't know.
And you didn't even know who she was sitting with. It. You asked me.
I asked you as a trick, so you'd answer.
You didn't know the answer, but I got it right. 2 other WNBA stars.
Yeah, maybe Sabrina. I don't know. It's not really that riveting, but I just was curious. And it was fun to see them out at a regular NBA game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great. The WNBA and whoever you want to give credit to is on the map. Its ratings are going up exponentially. So let's
love to see Caitlin Clark. She's great. Is she playing again? That's the last question. Then I'll let everyone go.
I think she had a little injury or something, but she started out. I mean, she's setting records all the time.
Meanwhile, look at you, hernia, back here, busting your ass on this podcast.
I'll come back better and stronger. It just happens. But I had such strong abs.
Yes.
That the guy did it a different way. He said, "Oh no,
he didn't break a scalpel, did he?"
No, but you can do a mesh, like put a little mesh on it, or you can just go with the actual tissue if it's really strong.
Yeah. With me, they said, because it's so dainty down there. And I go, what does that mean? They goes, no, it's just because you're so gushy and smushy.
Well, I shouldn't even be saying this, but he knows we're friends and everything. And he said, look, I shouldn't have done this, but it's organic. It probably was absorbed. But when I did David's surgery, I put a little dandelion in there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah. I go, you put a dandelion in there? He goes, yeah.
That's funny. Dandelion.
And I said, he named his special that. You can see it on Amazon Prime. And he goes, really? On Amazon Prime right now it's playing? Yes. Yeah. Dandelion, David Spade. Live.
And then he said, Dana, I'm going to give you a hint for your next special. You might want to call it Sponge. Because he left one in you. And Scalpel. You left a scalpel in there? He goes, I'm forgetful.
Yes, he left an inflatable raft when I had a minor foot thing.
There's probably a kink with some doctor where he like leaves something small and some that's a sickening thing, but I guarantee you it's real. I guarantee.
Yeah, definitely. Or writing things on different organs and stuff.
Yeah, I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, thanks for. I appreciate that I'm puking everyone out in the last 5 seconds.
Well, I didn't know what to do with my hands. Normally, I'm holding it, and I finally got a thing like this. So
I know you got a microphone.
So I was going like this. I was going like this. I went like this. I mean, I should really be at a comedic stance of some kind.
Yeah, it's weird because if no one notices, I have a mic stand, and Dana always holds it like a comedian. But at a certain point, he decided to grow up.
Well, I had one of these things attached to the table and it broke, and I'm kind of scattered. I didn't fix it, so I just held it for 2 years.
Yeah, you're like, Pa, Ma, Little House on the Prairie. All right, Dana, if that wasn't the end, I think people realize this is the end now. This is like the movie credits.
Yeah, this is like The Doors. This is the end.
This is the people. You're still here? You're still watching?
You're still watching. You're still listening. You're still driving. I want to thank you once again. For the next Superfly, I'm going to do something that I've never done before. But in the comments section on YouTube, try to guess what I've placed in that little
I'm going to guess too.
Leather thing. And if you guess it, we're going to get some kind of something good's going to happen to you.
That's it?
Well, do you want to announce a prize?
Could you send it to him, or is it worth too much?
Send whatever's in there?
Yeah.
Is that like a hint or a clue?
No, we could send it to them as a winner. We could say you win it.
Oh, I see.
Is it possible?
I mean, we could send them the bag, but then I wouldn't.
No, we send them what was in it.
What's in it?
Guess it.
It is possible they could send it.
Okay, so maybe we'll do that, of course.
But how do we know if they're going to want it?
They won't want it. They might. Okay, we'll figure it out. We're going to
figure it out. We're trying to create mystery on the show. So.
Yeah, it's so much mystery. People are like fucking freaking out. Okay, I'm going to go. And Dana, it was nice meeting you. And we're going to have a great time. So take care of yourself. Mm-hmm. I'll check on you later.
Yes, sir.
This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Superfly is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, Heather Santoro, and Greg Holtzman. Hope you liked it. Ooh. Okay, Dana, this show we've got Pete Holmes, who's a buddy of mine that I see at Largo mostly, a very funny comedian.
A funny man.
Very tall guy with good hair, which obviously infuriates me. And
incredible hair.
We talked about his hair for about 30 minutes. And I think you've worked with Pete also.
I ran into Pete when I was first moved back down to LA. Remember, I used to start going out to dinner with you all the time. During that period of time, I ran into him at Conan's, and he seemed really affable. He is a really large person, but he's a gentle person. So he doesn't, but anyway, so I went on his podcast and we talk about that. And I did Largo with him and we did improv and stuff, but I hadn't seen him in a long time. He personifies a nice, generous person. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. We get into Judd. He's tight with Judd. He did a show called Crashing on HBO. Mm-hmm. The story to get to that was very, very interesting to me. And working with different people and doing different shows. And he has a podcast, and he's just got he also is a bit religious. And we got into a slightly deep conversation, all of us, which
we did.
We can use now and then on this show.
We got a little philosophical about the universe, so forth and so on. But someone who's really raised in a fundamentalist Christian environment and then goes out into the crazy world of stand-up comedy, and it's potentially polluted by minds like David Spade.
I'm just pollution. That's all I am, is brain pollution, noise pollution, everything. I talk too much. So we'll give it to you right now. Here is Pete. You don't need to know anything else. Here he is. Are you on the road?
I am on the road.
I can tell. I look at that hotel.
I am certain of this more than I'm certain of anything. I said, it's not great because I'm on the road. And they said, it's the only date they had. And I know saying that to both of you, you're going to both be like, we could have done it another time. I know it.
No, I just said make it as difficult for Pete as possible.
I just sent a memo 8 months ago. It said Holmes in June. I looked at it today. Holmes in June. So
That's all it
here
said.
we are. It's all
Well
set.
done.
Yeah, I wanted because summer's starting. We wanted a happy guest, but you look fine. I mean,
Yeah, he looks good. He looks good.
You actually look good for a hotel room.
Yeah, I did. I got the makeup mirror here,
Oh my
and I
God.
tilted a lamp, and I paid for the premium internet, boys.
Oh, you know what? I've done that. I don't like it, but I've done it.
I paid. I was like, wait, I got fly. I'm very excited to be on the show and to see both of you. And I paid for that premium. That's how you know I'm not just saying it.
No, I'll Venmo you. Bzz, bzz, bzz. I'll Venmo
You're
you.
sincere.
I think it might be time to become a Hilton Honors member and just get it.
Where you get the immediate
I
bump
think I
up.
might splurge, yeah, and go full Hilton Honors.
Look at his fucking hair. Pete has fucking hair and he's hiding in a hat. He doesn't even know what he has. God damn, you can't make it look thin. Shit. Looks like Roger Rabbit.
Can't.
You guys both have fabulous hair. I just don't like when my hair is
that's what
too
we were
wavy.
getting at. Thank you.
Yeah. Well,
Just in a forward angle like this. Look at that hair.
It fucking makes me mad. Every time I talk to him, he's 7 feet tall, which I hate. Then he's got cool hair.
He's 6'6". Don't make him into a giant.
Are you really 6'6"?
I am 6'5.5", but that's not funny. To
Over
say, so I just say
6'2", my friendship goes down about 40% because I don't want to be around.
Line them up for me. Okay. Kevin Nealon, Conan O'Brien, Pete Holmes,
Kirk Fox is tall.
the magician, Penn.
Penn's Labyrinth.
Penn.
I'm as tall as Conan's hair, like Conan's pompadour.
Oh, he
gives him
adds.
couple
What
inches.
a cheater.
Yeah.
And we're lined up, but I'm lined up to his hair, so he's probably like 6'3", I guess, and 3 inches of orange.
Of orange, just fuzz. When I go on dates, Pete, I say wear ballet shoes. That's a prerequisite for girls. And then I say flatten your hair with oil as flat as it goes. You don't get 1/4 inch higher.
Mm-hmm.
I like that very, very much.
Yeah, they get that ahead of time.
I told you, Spade, that I really liked the movie The Wrong Misty. I think Lauren Lapkus is amazing, and I really thought that movie was a lot of fun. And then that line, she accuses you of wearing a wig in the movie.
Oh, she does?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Funny.
There's a moment where she's clearly improvising, and everyone laughs. It's like a blooper in the movie.
Yeah, because
she
I
goes
do,
like,
but I don't.
At least I'm not wearing a wig. And I'm like, wait, I'm sorry, this character is wearing a wig?
No, I'm not, Pete. This is where it is. I'm kind of. Everyone thinks I'm wearing a wig full time, and I wouldn't make it this fucking ratty. Is it because of Tommy Boy, you think?
Yeah, because of the fan and Tommy Boy.
Oh, maybe
Everybody's like,
that
oh,
was
Spade. It's Ted Danson too, fake piece in Cheers. So I think people think Ted Danson is bald.
Oh, yeah. You know,
Can't
Tommy
do fake
Boy,
face.
we had to. Dana will love this lore. We did it, and I said, I think it's funny, which I was wrong. I said that we walk by a big fan, it blows my hair back, and I'm bald. I go, I think it should be less goofy. Like it should just be a piece of it is bald, like a little bit in the back.
Oh, not the
whatever we
full.
did. We did it not 1,000%, and then we flew back to LA or wherever, New York, to do the show. And they looked at it and they go, you can see from this clip. And I go, it's not that funny. They go, do you want to come back to a full bald cap and do it again? I go, yes. I don't want to, but of course, as the three of us know, if it's for something funny, it's bigger than
laugh.
you. You have to do it. So bald cap.
I didn't know that was a reshoot. There's your clip. We're 4 minutes in. You got your clip.
You know about clips. I love it.
Yeah, you got to clip it. It. The secret behind David Spade's hairpiece. Huge.
That's
huge.
True.
Honored to be involved.
I gotta put my hat on now.
Tommy Boy is a trender, man. Tommy Boy always gets out there. What trends on? Yeah, it got weird. You made it weird. What is it?
You made it weird. You know what I've noticed is we had whenever we have a beautiful woman on, I've noticed that as much as things change, you kind of can't compete with a beautiful guest.
Oh, yeah.
Like I've noticed that like deeply handsome people and deeply beautiful people
Yeah.
tend to perform
They win across
really
the board.
well.
Somehow, in a video medium, they're
Yeah.
coming out ahead again. Jesus
They're
Christ.
coming out ahead again.
Yeah.
But I'm always surprised. There'll be something that I'm like, this is profound. This is life-changing. This
Nope.
is huge. And then that does fun. And then somebody beautiful being witty and charming is like, we can't not look at that. We have to see it.
Yeah, we know some beautiful people out there.
But we don't do the like, I should have learned that. You know what I mean? Like, whoops, the biggest mistake in showbiz. And then that kind of clickbaity thing.
We're
We don't do
supposed
that.
to be average. I'm
You
not
don't do-
including you in this because you're tall, you're good looking, and Dana's a good looking dude. I'm sick of being in the middle here, and Malcolm in the middle over here.
Yeah, why would you look like you're in second grade? I mean, your frame is kind of like just
You
a
could
head.
adjust the frame.
Okay,
You
this
could
is
adjust
better.
That.
They wanted
Like
me to be
Wilson in Home Improvement.
I have a
Yeah.
fake plant. that
Yeah, Dana's killing it.
They thought that this look would be better than what you have, so I did it. But anyway, when I went on your podcast, this will trend. I hadn't really kind of been on a podcast, and I didn't really know what they were or what they were about. And I met you a few times in the clubs, and then you had said you're just having a bad day. You're kind of depressed. And
When you did my podcast?
Yeah. You said you felt like at the dental office you're wearing that thing. But it was very interesting. And that was one of my first kind of regular podcasts.
That's funny. That's what you remember. What I remember was that you were such a big get. Slippery Spade keeps ducking me. But we got Dana, and I was really excited. And I was kind of like, our podcast is long. A typical episode is 2 hours.
In a very small room in those days, a very small, tight room with the button pusher person right there.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. We're in a different studio now, but I was like, Dana's probably, not in a big time way, but like, just like this is a guy, he's got a life, he's got a career, he's got less to prove. He's probably going to want to do an hour and get out of there. Not only did you do over 2 hours, you didn't want to leave. And I really respected it. Like a stand-up on stage, you wanted to end on a really big laugh. And I was like, oh my God, it really is just how we are.
Even if it takes another hour 30.
He kept looking for that needle in the haystack. And you looked at me and you went, is that enough? Like you didn't know. Like
Because he doesn't know how it works, probably. He probably thought, I don't know what I'm doing here.
I think it might have been Tina Fey, or was it Steve Martin that just said, like, going on talk shows, you have to always be great. You can't be mediocre even 1 second.
Yeah.
And you still have that mindset. It's kind of a lot of pressure. Like, okay, how will I be the greatest guest that Pete's ever had?
Right. Yeah.
And it's we're
but
crazy.
I was touched that for all your success that you still had that mentality. Touched that it was generous to the audience, but also it made me feel less alone, because I will do a podcast. It's one of my favorite things to do, actually, is I'll do a smaller podcast, right? Like I think it's kind of nice. It's low pressure. But when I go on, I'm trying to be a great guest. There's no like math.
Right.
Like, this doesn't matter. You're like, this is all we're doing.
Everything's an audition. Someone only heard Dana in their life on your podcast. And they're like,
that's right.
This is my decision on Dana Carvey, if he's funny or not. And that's the hard part. People go, oh, I thought, if they're fans, they go, I know you all the way back to Grown Ups. And I'm like, Grown Ups? Nothing before that? They go, did you do anything before Grown Ups? I go, no, it doesn't matter. Because all you have to do is get them once. Because I was thinking people I like, if they get me in a movie, you know what I mean? Obviously Chevy Chase had done some big ones a bunch, but if you're just in an old movie and I like it, I'm in for life. I'm like, I like that person. I like that person.
Yeah. We were in the car. We're in Irvine. My family came with me.
Love her.
And my daughter was watching Hotel Transylvania 2. So I heard your voice this morning, Spade.
That's a cute one for kids, I think.
It's very cute, but it's also, I'm not just saying this, It's really funny.
It is
You got
funny.
a huge laugh from us. You're talking about your invisible girlfriend who's from Canada.
Yeah.
And you do this, and we all know what it's like being in I don't know if you did an ensemble. I'm guessing you didn't do it
No,
in an ensemble.
alone.
So you're alone. And you had to nail this line like they're like, oh, this is your invisible girlfriend? Oh, right. Is she the one from Canada? And you say like, oh, quiet, guys, the wedding's about to start. But you said it in a way that me, my wife, and my daughter, we all laughed. And I was like, that, I'm not just buttering your bread. I'm like, that really is special. And then Sandler as the vampire in that movie
Mhm.
is throwing the grown-ups bones. It seems like every other line, there's something that the
Yeah.
grown-ups get to laugh at. So
Yeah.
we nudged her towards that movie. But you were in my car this morning.
Thank you. And you're
Yep.
like, oh, I got to do this thing today. I forgot. But Irvine
Not at all.
Improv, is that where you're at?
I am at the Irvine Improv. Yeah,
It's great. It's great.
It's super fun, and I confused it with the Brea Improv. I don't know if you've ever walked into a club and you're walking through the kitchen, which it always feels like real show business to me.
From the back.
And I'm
Elvis.
looking for the green room, and I just couldn't I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Because I thought I don't know. I just turned 46. I think it's like an airlock opened, and all of these papers just flew out, and I'm more confused than I've ever been. And then they were like, "It's over here," and I went in the green room, and I was like, because I was imagining the wrong one, it was very disorienting to be like,
yeah, and you're like, I don't even know where I am. You're like, oh, wait, that means the stage is behind me? Oh, wait, where am I? That's so
Please
weird.
just
I've
get
done
me
that.
out
It's
there.
so weird. I picture a green room and I go, wait, I've not been to this club before. I totally pictured, I was just on the road. I'm on the road too. And that's probably why we do these now, because I come back. I don't do them on the road. It's too hard because I have either a camera. I can't understand how to plug in a computer. So they go, we got to wait.
You're not a
till
Hilton
back.
Honors member, so
I'm not.
you got to pay for the.
I'm a
me
Red
too.
Roof guy. I just did the gigs with Dana where, well, I didn't tell Dana, but it was a small town, great theater where you see like 8 people that day, and there's like a Hardee's, and there's one Dairy Queen. You go, there's no way anyone's coming to this show. I don't see one person. And then they filled it up, and you go, oh, they show up. But my hotel had 3 strips of Kleenex for curtains, and there's like 3 feet in between each one. I'm like, these are my blackout curtains from the website. And then the air conditioner under this white, where the vents are about 2 inches wide. And they're like this.
Yes.
You know, and you're all night, and then it goes off, then it comes on again. And you're like, oh my God, it's like a tornado in here.
Do you know,
Old
you
school.
must know the life hack of the hanger, right? You know the hanger life hack?
Is that for curtains?
Yeah, for the curtains.
No.
No? Let me see if I have one. This is pretty busted.
Interesting.
Let me see. Okay,
I've heard you take a chip clip from potato chips, and squeeze them together, Dana.
Yeah, I don't travel with a chip clip because I'm not, you know.
Okay, so
I'm not eating so many chips that I need to
Bert
keep
Kreischer
them fresh on the road. Yeah, Bert Kreischer's act is the guy with the chip clip, and I love Bert. This is what you use. This is in the closet of every hotel. As you're mentioning, the curtains will never close, so you clip
Take
it,
a hanger.
clip it together with this.
Oh, you clip
Boom.
the hangers you clip the curtains
You clip
together.
the curtains together with the
Oh,
hanger.
you know what? If girls have a banana clip in their hair, that might work.
Not all of us are traveling with supermodels and bags of Cool Ranch that we need to keep fresh for several days.
Listen, if you have a brick of gold, you can lean it against the curtain.
You can also block the light from the people by stacking bricks.
You
of
stack
gold.
them.
It
It's a
takes about
hassle.
30,
You got to take them all out of the
40.
suitcase.
But I like knowing where they are. I
Yeah,
like knowing where they are.
exactly.
And I have the private jet pilot bring them in. He stacks them.
He counts
And
them
when I
after
want
the
to leave,
flight.
he moves them.
I go, did anybody take one? They go, we've been up here, sir. Count them in front of me. And I'm like, they're like, this again. No, I know that Pete. I see it, Pete, at Largo a lot, and that's a fun place. That's an Apatow spot in my head, and you do a lot with Apatow from Crashing on. And tell us about Crashing, how it got going.
Well, I mean,
that was a big deal.
It was a big deal. I love telling that story, and I love Jed. I was going to say
Yeah, say
one of the strangest things to come from Crashing is that, like, I would say Mike Birbiglia and Judd and Neil Brennan and Andrew Santino are the 4 people I talk to the most. And the fact that one of those people
really?
is Judd Apatow still blows me away. Like, we talk about feelings, what's going on in our lives. There's no show business. We're just friends. And I'm so honored to see this side of Judd that is just the New Balance dad bod guy.
Yeah.
That's just kind of completely, I mean, every once in a while he'll mention having dinner with Paul McCartney or something, and you'll remember that he's Judd Apatow. But for the most part, he really is that dorky, latchkey, raised by television kid.
Loves it. Loves showbiz.
Yeah.
Loves show business. Loves
music,
comedy.
TV. Yeah.
Loves to laugh, and also like doesn't talk shit. Like if you go like, oh, I saw the new season of, he's always like, I liked it. I thought
That's all right.
I thought it was pretty good. Spade got a few laughs. It's one of your things. Spade got a few laughs.
It's one of my things that you're trashing. That was all right.
I didn't like it. No, I thought it was funny.
There's room for that show.
What happened with Crashing, and I love telling the story because it's like an exercise in gratitude. So I was doing the Pete Holmes Show, which was a talk show that I did with Conan, which was also, that's a whole other story. And Judd did a sketch with us. Now that I know Judd, I'm like, Judd gets pitched this sketch 3 times a month. It's like, I'll pitch you bad movies. That's like the first idea you have. But that's the kind of operation we were running. So we go in and I pitch him bad movies. And if you watch the sketch, it's on YouTube. He starts improvising. And then I start improvising back, obviously. And I pitch him Crashing in that sketch as a joke. Because he keeps going, what's your real idea? What's your real idea? What's your real idea? I'm like, oh, it's a bear who's like the sidekick in a magic act. And he learns magic from watching the magicians and he escapes. And it's called Beargician. That's like the joke. It's like I keep pitching different animals learning magic from their captors. And then he goes, and he seemed dead serious, but the cameras are rolling. He goes, what's your real idea? What's your real idea? What would you really want to do? And I go, well, I was raised religious. I married the first girl I ever dated, the first girl I ever slept with. We got married. 6 years in, she had an affair, and I was sort of kicked into the deep end of stand-up comedy. Like I sort of doubled down on my life as a comedian while I was also trying to learn how to be a functional adult. Very Judd Apatow, right? Like I'm going through my 20s and my 30s is basically the show. And he's like, in the sketch, he goes, that's too sad. That's too sad. Nobody
really?
Like that. He's joking, but he goes, that's too sad. Nobody likes that. That's pathetic. I don't like it. And I'm like, okay. So that's like 6 months later, the Pete Holmes Show is canceled. And me and my producing partner, Oren Brimmer, we were like, we're at our fighting weight. We were doing 9 episodes of that show a week. We were just like tearing through jokes, sketch. We were like really strong. So we're like, let's go with this momentum. We know the show is canceled, but the show's going to air because we had all these episodes backlogged for like 2 months beyond being canceled. So we know it's canceled, but the world doesn't know it's canceled. So we're like, while it's still airing and we feel like we have some
still lights. Yeah.
We're going to go out and we're going to try and pitch a sketch show. Because that was our favorite part of doing the Pete Holmes Show, or was one of our favorite parts, was the sketches. So we go into Comedy Central and we're like, we're going to pitch them a sketch show. And in the that courtesy 30 minutes before the meeting where you're like chatting, you have a Fiji and you're talking. Kent Alterman, who is the head of Comedy Central at the time, he's wonderful. And we're friends. He says to me, well, one thing's for sure, we're not looking for another fucking sketch show. And everyone laughs, including us. We're like, imagine. But we were there to pitch a sketch show. So we scramble and we go, okay, we just lied. We said, oh, we were just here, for a meeting, a general meeting. We don't have anything to pitch. And they're like, oh, that's a little weird. But okay.
100% weird.
That's strange that you all took an hour out of our day to just say what's up. Awesome. I'm like, okay, we'll see you later. And I remember this very, very vividly. And as I get older and even more forgetful and more papers fly out of my airlock as I age, this story will get even more romantic and special. But I went down I had a little Volkswagen Golf at the time, and I sat in my car parked on the street in front of Comedy Central, and I was like, had one of those, like, I guess you call it like a come to Jesus moment. I was like, what am I doing? Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've had this job, feel like I got this break, but I don't know what's next. And that was scary. And then just like a high school guidance counselor, I said, well, what would you do if you could do anything? Like that, I find that to be a helpful exercise. Here's a blank check. You can do anything you want. What do you want to do? I was like, well, I would want to do a show. I'm just talking to myself in my car. Like, I'd want to do a show like Girls. I really like the show Girls. So I would want to do a show about my life, about getting into comedy with Judd Apatow on HBO. That's what I thought. But then I was like, but what is the show? And very, very quickly, obviously I just pitched it to Judd pretend style 6 months earlier. But I was like, well, it could be about a guy who married the first girl he was ever with, who's religious, she has an affair. And then in that moment of like pressure in the car, I was like, oh, and every episode he can be crashing on the couch of a different comedian, because I always wanted like an interesting engine. Like, it would be
a hook. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, and you guys know from selling a show, whether or not you do the hook doesn't really matter. You need to show them that there is a hook. You can abandon the hook, but there should be a hook. So I was like, this is great. That was a Wednesday. And I was like, writing it in my phone and stuff. And I was like, I knew Judd's team from having done the Pete Holmes show. So I reached out to my manager and I was like, can I get a meeting with Judd? This is that sort of naive mania. It's the kind of insanity you sort of need in show business, but you can't have too much of, where I'm like, I just came up with this idea. And I'm like, I'm going to pitch it now. Like, that's not really
gather the
rooted.
troops.
Exactly. But that is how I am. I tend to light up really hot for things, and I want to go, go, go. So it was Wednesday, and they were like, well, he's in New York, and he's shooting Trainwreck. And if you want, you can go to the set of Trainwreck at like 6 a.m. He has 15 minutes for you. Again, this is Wednesday, and that was Friday. And I was like, yes, I booked the flight. On Thursday.
Love it.
It's a classic Hollywood cliche,
is also
right?
a movie, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Totally. I got the United, I'm probably in like the exit row with a United napkin writing out what the show is.
It was Flight 93, though. That would be the hook.
I wasn't going to say that because it sort of derails the main narrative. But
I know. I'm sorry.
True.
Go ahead.
That's true.
No, but that is what happened. But I'm just trying to keep it to one.
It's a good hook, though. It takes a big turn down.
So I'm writing out the idea. I get in on Thursday. Judd, by the way, does not know that I flew in because he would have said, don't fly in. Nobody flies across the country for 15 minutes. But I was like, it was a no-brainer. I got up at like 5. I got a coffee.
Which is 2 your time.
Which is 2. Thank you. Which is 2 my time. Went in. Amy was there. I know Amy a little bit, so I'm feeling kind of comfortable. Vanessa Bayer.
She's in there too.
Amy
well, they're
Schumer.
shooting Trainwreck.
Yeah,
but she's not in this thing you're doing.
No. I'm on the set of Trainwreck. We're in like the fake magazine.
But
and that's
so
where I'm
you mean they've already
down.
started their day? I thought it was before their day starts. So Amy's buzzing around. You see everyone, then you go, I got to corner Judd. Focus him.
Yeah.
Without these people, and I don't want them to hear the idea and go, thumbs down, if you're asking me.
Honestly, totally. I mean, who's more distracted than a director on set before they're shooting? Like, it was kind of a bad idea. So he's sitting at this table. I sat down and like, I felt okay. I talked to him for like 12 minutes about other stuff. And then in the last 3 minutes, I was like, here's the show. And what happened, and to take some of the onus off me, like I don't really deserve full credit, is Judd was just getting back into stand-up in New York. And I'm pitching him a show about a guy getting into stand-up in New York. So the stars aligning on that. He was in, and the sort of postscript to the story is, he goes, write it. He didn't say like, let's do it. You got a deal. He was like, write it. I'll take a look at it. And I wrote the script in 2 days and sent it to him. And we were off. I think we pitched it like a couple weeks after. It was crazy.
Is he have to
Wow.
pitch too hard, or is HBO saying, "What do you want to do next, Judd?" Like kind of an Adam at Netflix kind of thing.
They did have a deal with Judd, I think. We pitched it to Amazon and they passed. And then Judd told me to stop being so philosophical, which is a funny thing because in Judd's masterclass, he uses me as the example of how not to pitch a show, which I didn't
Hilarious.
know until I was watching Judd's
Hysterical.
masterclass.
There-
And he's like, one thing you want to do is don't do what Pete Holmes did. Don't do what Pete did. He got all philosophical. Just tell him it's funny. And I'm that way. I want to talk about the themes. I want to talk about the message.
Feelings.
I want to talk about the
Mhm.
growth and the feelings. Judd was like, just say it's funny. You're going to love it. Trust us. And I was like, yeah, that is how you would pitch it if you're Judd Apatow. But I've never
Mhm.
had to pitch it that way. But then HBO,
Who was it?
it was Casey Bloys and it was Amy Gravitt. And I think I'm forgetting one person. But they were warm. It was warm. But I said way less. I said way less.
Oh, Judd should have taken over a little bit, huh?
He could have, but he was trying to take over by like saying, I mean, it's like Johnny Cash pitching an album. You know what I mean? And there's some sweaty guy next to
Yeah.
him being like, there's going to be a G and a C and a D. And you know what I mean? Like, I wasn't chill. I was
He's
not
like,
cool
I'm
about
talking less is kind of a hint for the
Yes.
feel of it. Let's just get less is more.
Well, you know those shows where someone's like, if I crumble my paper, it means shut up? Like, we should have had a symbol like that, like a
Oh, I
signal.
don't know that. Dana should do
Yeah,
that to
yeah.
me.
Oh yeah, you guys are doing great. I'm just laying back today. I just had surgery, so
Did you really?
yeah, that's all right.
On what?
A hernia kind of thing.
Wiener.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I'm a little loopy, but
I'm see, look, I'm in Irvine. You had a hernia. This is not our perfect day, but we're making it
I'm
work.
in great shape.
you're
across
doing
the
great.
board.
We love this. You're driving the.
You're
podcast.
driving because I
We're
said
not
Pete
pulling-
is good at this, and he's
What
funny.
about this show? We get 10 minutes of gold. Are you out of your mind? I mean, we're not pulling teeth. We get 20 minutes of gold out of this motherfucker
There
today.
you go.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Already, you know.
Well, podcasters are great. I'm not saying I'm great. I'm saying it's always a day off when I have podcasters
Of course,
on my podcast.
that's why I said he will take our dumb show and make it better because he's
people
good.
who do podcasts understand the form and are good guests. You know, when I went on
Yeah.
Smartless and I saw the three of them, you know, on the thing, I said, okay, I'm just going to do shtick. I'm just going to go full bore, tell stories and make you laugh. So I want you guys to have a day off.
That's
so
it.
that's literally, and they kind of got it. So that's all I
Yeah.
did the whole time, you know.
That's what Conan said about Martin Short. He goes, he's a day off. And I was like,
Yeah.
yep. There are guys that come on and deliver.
Well, they do some homework on those shows and they get out there and just
Yes.
it helps. It helps.
It does.
I'm not going to go over the fact that you're a hooray theist, which is maybe the funniest word I've heard in a while.
That's funny. I can tell where you're getting your research.
No, you don't. You'll never
yes,
guess.
I do. I know where you
Google.
get your research. Yeah, that's a
Wikipedia?
Google. I think it's so funny.
Mhm.
I wrote a book about my spiritual journey,
Yeah.
and there's one chapter called The Horathiist, which means when I was a fundamentalist Christian and I thought everyone I talked to was going to hell, which is a huge burden. This is
Yes.
underreported. If
It
you're
really
a
is
sweet,
underreported.
loving
Mm.
person, which a lot of people of faith are, it sucks to go around and be like, wow, David, I can't believe you're going to hell.
Seems
this
like a
is-
great
this is
guy,
hard.
but I just figured it out. You said the wrong thing, and
it made me sad all the time. And all of my friends were atheists because all of my friends were comedians. And I wrote this chapter about how confusing it was after my first wife obviously left me. That was very challenging to my faith because honestly, if I'm being real, I thought God was looking out for me. Like stuff like that doesn't happen to people
Sure.
who don't smoke or drink or swear. I was very clean on stage and then this bad thing happened. So I'm like questioning my faith and all my friends are comedian atheists. And I noticed that my friends were all deeply moral, good, sweet, loving people. And that's what that chapter is about. I'm like, why? Like we were in a hotel and there was like an unmanned convenience store, those little convenience stores where you're supposed to charge to the room.
Yeah.
I was like, if there's no God, why don't I just take a Sprite? Like, I don't understand. Like, what is the point if it's not for some sort of afterlife insurance, And I remember my friends were like, it's for us. If you steal, the guy or the woman working this shift might get in trouble. You know what I mean? Like, she might be reprimanded. She might lose her job. You don't do it because in and of itself, it's the good and right thing
wrong.
to do.
Yeah.
It's wrong. And even better, it's right to not do it. You know what I mean? So I was like, it felt so pure and good. It wasn't to be rewarded or recognized or, given an eternal massage on a cloud with a harp. It was for the here and now, and to remember that we belong to each other, that person, even though we don't know them, we care about them, and we care about them not being in trouble. So I wasn't going to steal the Sprite. It was just an example. But then after I saw these beautiful atheists in my life, I briefly, as like a thought experiment, I was like, I'm going to be an atheist.
Wow.
And it was such a surprise that I liked it. I was like, I enjoyed putting down all of these heavy ideological bags that I had been carrying. And I was just like, this is it. Let's care about each other. Let's take care of each other. And there's nothing else going on here. And I found that to be a nice break from thinking everyone. I mean, think of all the millions and millions and millions of people throughout history that are just burning in hell. Putting that away made me go, this isn't an atheist. This is a Horathiist. I like this. This is nice.
Okay.
You die, it's over. Where were you? You said this on my podcast, Dana. You said, where were you during the Renaissance? That's where you go when you die. It's over. I was like, this is a relief as compared to the eternal Judge Judy that's going to like tear you apart. So I was briefly an atheist, and I called the chapter Horathiist, but it really was like a month.
Yeah.
And then I took some mushrooms, and then I started thinking
Came
about
back.
those things again.
Do you think Christians get a bad rap out there? I think they're having a tough time, because I read about things where people go after them more and more. I read about something in Africa. I'm like, wow, I don't know, because you just don't hear about it a lot, but maybe you would know more.
I don't feel qualified to.
Oh, I am. I'm a podcaster.
I will say that, I no longer identify as a Christian. It's very confusing because I love Christ, and I think that's what it is, man. I think what he was teaching is the truth. But where we fall away is I don't believe in what's called atonement theory. This is boring. Atonement theory is the idea that you both are very familiar with, which is that Jesus died because you both are wicked little children and you need to be like washed in blood, or otherwise God is going to flick you into a furnace. That's where it loses me. But if you look at the words of Jesus, that's not his message. That's sort of added on later. That was a lot of theology for 30 seconds.
I read that in Jesus' Wikipedia, because I did his also.
But I mean, I would say that, like, I see it a lot of different ways, meaning a lot of my atheist friends come on my podcast and we start talking and realize we don't believe in the same God, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're talking about an old man in the sky with a beard, like a lifeguard who's watching and blowing his whistle. Basically, a guy like a king with a surveillance system that's watching you do all your wicked things and can't wait to torture you. I'm like, I also don't believe in that God. And when you broaden it out to have a conversation about consciousness or awareness or being itself, the atheists, the Christians, we all can kind of like come into this middle where we all agree. And I'm very interested in that space.
Okay.
Well,
you guys
said.
didn't do ketamine before the talk?
No, we already cut that part out. We cut it out while I was texting everyone going, this part, we got to lose it. No, I'm kidding. I started it. No, I like hearing about it because we talk about different things, and it's very interesting to me to hear that. And also that's such a part of you that, listen, we can go back to talk about 7-Eleven and stuff, like my act, but sometimes you have to talk about real things. It's interesting.
Well, you know what's funny is it's we're not actually talking about something that's exotic or mysterious. Every person listening, you, me, David, Dana, we're all having the experience of being aware, and that's the mystery. even science agrees. That's called the hard question of consciousness. We don't know. It's funny. Science looks into microscopes and looks at stuff, but we don't know what is looking into the microscope. It's really kind of funny if you think about it. Like we're acquiring all this data, but that which knows the findings is itself a mystery. And that to me is why I don't walk away from metaphor and interesting spiritual texts, because we're talking about something that's very difficult to talk about. But it's what's looking out all of our eyes right now. It's not in India. It's not at the top of a mountain. It's not buried at the bottom of the sea. It's what you're experiencing right now. It couldn't be more familiar to you.
Mm-hmm. I was around a really sweet dog this past weekend, and it doesn't have any of that higher consciousness. So it's very pure, very eager, very happy, completely in the moment. And it was kind of nice. And there was a real estate agent I met recently in the last year or so, and he doesn't watch any of the news, anything. He goes, I want to be like a dog. I want to just be in the moment, happy. But like humans, our brains go crazy, and I just feel the whole thing's a mystery, and it's so elusive. And we'll find out one day exactly what happened.
Yeah,
not
Yeah. You know what is really helpful to me and is a little less sort of highfalutin is I say yes, thank you all day long, especially when something isn't going my way. I like to use the example of a delayed flight or something, and you're having all these feelings. The dog, one of the things that makes a dog so beautiful is it's not really resisting its experience. You know what I mean? It's just there for it. So it's not just present when everything's good. It's there.
Yeah.
David, what's your riff, David?
No, I agree. I think, dogs are funny. I have a chunk. No, thanks for the setup.
You do have a dog chunk in your special, right?
I do.
I'll
spare you.
I can't believe it. A dog chunk?
Of course. I like this angle of dogs. It's like when you see kids, there's something magical about kids that are really little because there's no weight of the world. They're literally minute to minute just trying to find the fun in everything and couldn't give a shit. And then the older you get, the more it's piled on. It feels like you know too much almost. You're like, too much info, too much data. Add in social media, add in the news, and everyone kind of tilting a little more doomsday. Some of the things don't come true that you're being warned about all the time. And you're just like, fuck, it's just a heavy, heavy life. And you try to go through going, try to be a good person. Just a couple basic things. Try to not make everyone's life harder. Try not. Just like when I see people out there, I used to be a busboy like Dana. When I'm at a restaurant, you're just trying not to make their life harder. I didn't want anyone to be kissing my ass or going overboard. Just don't make my job any harder. Just be a normal person and go, hi, whatever. You don't even need to say thanks. But when I'm there, I try to, in real life situations, you try to go, okay, let's not make everyone's life a fucking pain in the ass. Everyone's just barely hanging on.
I agree. I agree with that. Everybody is alone. We're not interconnected in a way that maybe we will be in some other dimension. But, how do you not have empathy for people? Because,
some don't. And that's
it's hard just being alive. Yeah.
Yeah. Just to get day to day, even if things go good, you're like, if you have problems, people think of like their 5 biggest problems. And then someone takes money away, usually number one, money away. And they all just slide down. You go, oh, wait, that rich guy isn't that happy. And you go, yeah, you took money away, but now the other one slid down. Now number one is this or health or something.
I've noticed a lot of very wealthy people start getting really anxious about recycling. And that sounds like a bit, but like you'll never meet more ardent recyclers than the uber wealthy. And it's because exactly what you're saying. I'm not worried about money anymore. I will now worry about whether or not that coffee cup is plastic coated and if it needs to go in this trash or that trash.
Whatever your next problem is kicks down to number one. And then you go, so that one's you as a human, you almost need something to think about or to fix or to go, I need this to be better and then make my life better or make someone else, whatever.
Well, that's what they call it. In the spiritual traditions, they call that the monkey mind, right? And what you're saying is actually quite profound. Is you'll never not have things to worry about. You're a human being.
You find them.
Society, And even when, you know, the three of us have been very fortunate to have some really great peak experiences in our lives and hopefully more to come. But like, we know that even those flare up and then go away. It's a little bit like being a gambling addict. You get the big win. And sometimes I'll get an email of an offer of something that if it had come in when I was 23, I would have thrown a parade. You know what I mean? And now I'm like, it's in May. You know what I mean? Like some dumb.
Yeah.
So again, I guess one of the reasons I'm interested in spirituality is it's like, if we can get all those things to settle down, like all of those things are coming and going. Your happy moments and your sad moments, your anxiety, but there's something that was consistent. Like your experience has been consistent. There's always been a sense of being myself. And when you look at what you essentially are, meaning those things that come and go can't be essentially who you are. So what was there the whole time? Your being. And then when you look at the quality of your being, you see that it itself is peaceful and happy.
That's better than what I was going to say. I was going to say that sometimes you go, if I do this thing, when I host Saturday Night Live next week, that's going to be really fun. And then you start to say, when I'm driving to get gas, I go, this is actually the real life. So you keep thinking of something else, but you're like, this is 99% of my day, just doing normal things. So this is the part
everybody's just
being happy in. You just go, I just want to be okay right now because this is really the life part, the minutia little things. Am I content here? Because of course there's peaks.
Well, yeah. Well, you know, Ram Dass talked about this, right? You eat ice cream. So you're hosting SNL next week, which is awesome. That's an ice cream cone. But the human temperament is, okay, I've had ice cream. Now I want some water, you know, and now I want a nap. And now I'm bored and I want TV. And now I'm tired and I want to sleep. And now I'm awake and I want coffee. This is your life. So you're absolutely right. We need to like slow down and drop into our lives and enjoy. And that's what Yes, Thank You is. It's like when David does SNL and now you're like, well, what are people going to say about it? Instead of being mad at that, you can go just like the dog. The dog is unfolding lawfully and being a dog perfectly. Right. David, you're going to be David perfectly. You can allow that and even, you know, forgive that. Be like, this is just what it is. But if we can find little moments of quiet, even as we're talking right now, if you can just kind of find a stillness behind the conversation and go, oh, that's the place where it's enough. That it doesn't matter how it goes. I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
The day to day is just like, this is your real life. This is the part where you go, after that's done, I'm right back here. And it's not so bad. So,
well, you don't want to postpone your happiness. I don't want to go, I'll be happy.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
If I nail this podcast, then I can feel good about myself. I'll get a certain exhilaration from doing this show with you guys. But it's a fool's errand to keep going. Oh, and then I'll kill it at Irvine. And then I'll kill it tomorrow morning with my coffee. Try to just say yes to what is. That's a big one for me.
And even that you botched this podcast, you're not mad at yourself.
Well, that's the trap, right? If I say I'll be happy that I did well, I have to be unhappy that I botched it.
Yeah.
But that's just a dumb scale to put your worthiness on.
Yeah. I think helping other people is a kind of nice way to get out of your own head.
Yeah,
for sure.
Whether it's your wife, your child, or, you know, or the club owner. Can you do 5 more minutes or any little thing that you're focused
Tiny
on
little thing,
helping somebody? I think it's really useful.
I agree.
And want to do it anyway, you know?
Totally. The best shows I was going to say are the ones where I remember, where I just take a little moment to think about everything they had to do to get there. And like you said, David, the 5 big problems that they have, everybody here has those 5 slots filled.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you see,
they're never empty, really.
They're never empty. Yeah, you're right.
One goes out, number 6 drops down. Okay, now I'm in line. Now I'm in the top 5.
And then one of the great things about laughing and laughing together, there's something magical about releasing that tension. And there's a way you can release it with other people around you that you can't do it. You know, that's what sort of makes our phones so, in a way, awful, is that it's a methadone. It's like a synthetic, lonely version of something that I think is much better when we're, you know, touching elbows with strangers.
And, for sure.
Letting it out.
I mean, the flip side to careerism is just sort of, you know, later on, as I was going down this journey of being a stand-up or a comedian, people would come up and say to me, "Oh, I really needed that," and I didn't quite appreciate it as much till later on. That's really what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Even right now, we're just trying to make life a little easier, a little lighter for everybody. And I do think when a peer group takes one of your bits, either of you, and you understand that that's a touchstone for them, that they'll quote you, and that's like a communication device for peer groups.
Yeah.
That is the most flattering thing. Me and my friends do this once a month or whatever. Those kind of compliments, you're like, oh, that's really cool, because that's what I had with Monty Python, with friends.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
The first time I did stand up, I think I was 20 or 21. And I rented out a little restaurant. Again, one of those things I didn't know any better. So I just was like, I've never done stand-up. I'm going to do 45 minutes of stand-up. I'm just going to do it. And first time. And even worse, I'm going to invite everyone I know to come and watch. Like, just a nightmare. I wouldn't do that today. My parents are there. We're filming it so I could give it to clubs. But the reason I mention it went fine, actually. It went well. They were so supportive.
Me?
I know. I should have bombed all my friends just not laughing, but they were so supportive. They gave me a standing ovation, which isn't because I was so excellent. It's because they really were trying to help. They were trying to help. Yeah. And they did.
Nice.
But the first time I did stand-up, Dana, one of the laughs I got was I said, not going to do it. I said it in my set. Obviously, it was unplanned, but I was like, yep, that's not happening. Not going to do it. And it gets this big laugh. And I was like, whoops, that's not mine.
That counts as your laugh.
Anybody can have that.
Well, I know, but it's not that I stole it, but it didn't feel as good as writing something for myself. But you were in my very, very first stand-up set ever. Isn't that wild?
Flattering. Yeah.
That is, inexplicable, bits, not just for myself, for you guys that are nonsensical. They're not really one and one is two. They're sort of off kilter. Like a lot of David's throwaways and little things, they last longer in a weird way. The quirky, because you can't ever. It's like trying to catch the wind,
Yeah.
One and one.
Unscripted lines in movies are sort of
little
you remember
throwaways
from Caddyshack or old movies.
Well, David, you were in the sketch. It's Farley's line, but my wife and I say, "Lay off me, I'm starving." Maybe every day. It's the main thing we say to one another, because we're just constant. We're like food people, and we're just eating. And someone's like, "You're really gonna have all of that?" Just lay off me. I'm starving. I think that is the ultimate. I'm agreeing with you guys. That's the ultimate compliment, is if your comedy can somehow be infused and incorporated, and it goes back to what you were saying, into daily life, not just into something you do sometimes.
And you don't know what it is, and you do sketch in a room there with people, and they go, "Okay, commercial, go," and they push this Gap Girl sketch out, and you're going, and years later, you're saying that a line that just was passing in a sketch is like mind-boggling.
I don't think, and I love that sketch, I could totally see you guys being like, why would this one be a sensation?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It was Farley, which is a trick. So if you have Farley and he's in a wig and he's drops his voice from a female and chokes me, and it's about French fries. It's just funny.
And you have Sandler in a wig too, which is funny.
Going, you guys, and then. But if it gets a laugh in there, you're just relieved that it worked. And now they're going to Weekend Update and everyone's running and changing. And so then things get picked out of shows, like Dana knows. You don't know what they like. You don't know what you like in a movie.
Look, and history remembers the winners or whatever. I'm like, I could and I mean this as a compliment, that sketch could not have worked. It might not have worked. And we just never know. Like, you still don't. That's what
you hit
makes
it wrong in rehearsal. You hit it wrong in
interesting.
rehearsal. You get it barely right, and you hit it right on air, which is not always the case. You do better in dress than on air. You just go, God, can I just walk in one more time, because it didn't come off in the right energy. And you go, nope, that's it. We're doing it. And then you go, that was an okay sketch. And you go, God, the one that everyone would have loved was 2 hours ago, but you nailed it perfectly. So that's just that's part of the fun crapshoot of SNL. But we know in movies and life, you just throw away joke, weird things that happen. pluck them out of the
Totally.
atmosphere. Yeah.
It's endless. It is great that we'll never solve comedy. It's always humbling.
Thank
I
God.
thought that would kill. It bombed, and this worked or whatever. It's always full of surprises.
Yeah.
So you're on tour,
Yeah. So
a
let's
mini
plug your
tour, kind of, and
Yes.
it was going to be called the PG-13 tour, and then you switched the name out.
Yes. Which was actually, that's sort of a carryover from my youth and my religious days, and this sort of tender, I don't want to say pathetic, but like it's sweet. I'm like, oh, maybe I could do a tour that my parents would like. You know what I mean? I'm like, wouldn't it be fun? I'll do it. It's called the PG-13 tour. And the hour that I was writing was just kind of coming together less dirty than the other ones. And it still is not filthy. But then I did it one time in Austin. And I was like, it felt like doing it underwater or something. I hate the feeling. We're talking about how precious laughter is. I hate the feeling of knowing I could put on these brass knuckles and really smack them in the face. But instead I'm going to like hold back to like stay in a box that I created. They didn't even ask me to do it. So I was like, we're not doing, I did it one time. And I was like, I'm never doing that again. Some people like Nate Bargatze, who's a favorite of mine, he just is that guy.
Yeah.
And I saw him say when he gets cut off in traffic, he's like, golly, when people cut me off in traffic, I say the worst things you've ever heard in your life. And that's me. I want to be me. I want to hit as hard as I can. I don't want to get off stage like you on my podcast, Dana. I want to leave it all. And I'm constantly taking the temperature of the audience. Do you want it to be a little more wicked? Do you want it to be a little bit sillier? Do you want me to be louder? I'll do it whatever. But I can't go, well, I can't say fuck because I called this tour the
you're right.
Stupid.
You're right.
Stand-up's also so hard. You can maybe do that clean set 7:30 on a Thursday, but then it's like late show Friday. Sometimes you need to be like, come on, guys, wake the fuck up. Like you need like a teacher.
Sure.
Fucking shut up. Like you need that sometimes.
And it's not filthy. It's just you weave it into your act where no one walks away going, that was a dirty act. But you just kind of weave it into jokes where they don't even notice it. And it's just fun.
I get that all the time. People are like, I like that you're a clean comic. And I'm like, I'm not a clean comic.
Not really.
But they think you are. And that's why I think the metric is wrong. We think clean comedy is comedy where you don't say shit, fuck, piss, cock, whatever. And dirty comedy is where you do. And I'm like, no, I've seen comedy that passes that test of cleanliness that is deeply flawed and ugly, like mean-spirited. And the message underneath it, and I'll defend their right to say that, but it's just not for me. I'm like, wow, that is a really toxic message.
Yeah.
And then I get up and I'm being a silly, floppy, dumb, golden retriever boy, just trying to delight everybody. And yes, I sometimes say swears, and sometimes I talk about sex or whatever it might be. But the intent really matters to me. And I think you can feel that because I've seen some really filthy comedy that was squeaky clean, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And I've seen filthy comedy that I would call clean.
I think main thing is not to lean on it. Like you don't need to be blue all the time or not blue all the time. It's just you just weave it in. It's not one or the other.
Well, it's a seasoning. Yeah, it's a seasoning.
Yeah.
I'm not like
don't abuse it.
Yeah.
Well, go see
Seinfeld
Pete Holmes
calls
on the road. This guy.
Yeah, please do.
This
I had
guy's
one
good.
favorite-
Thanks for hanging with us.
Wait, what was your last statement? Sorry.
Yeah, give us a statement.
I just want. It was the last thing on the cleanliness, and thank you for the plug. Seinfeld was like swearing is like steroids. It's like cheating. I love Seinfeld because I think Seinfeld really is that guy. But he goes like swearing is like steroids, and I'm like, yeah. And I want to hit a lot of home runs. Like, give me the steroids. Like, I will do anything to delight the audience until they're red in the face and forgetting those 5 problems.
I agree.
Including, I don't mean cheat other human beings, but I will cheat. I will swear. I will spit. I will cuss. I'll do whatever it takes because life is hard. Life is lonely. Life is painful. and we need this release. We need this art form. So yeah, it's steroids, and I'm Barry Bonds, man.
I'm glad we did that.
I wouldn't want to follow you. I don't know if I followed you once or you followed me, but yeah, it was lonely. You're very, very powerful in a very funny
I've seen
way.
him kill. I've seen him kill.
You have a lot of weapons and a lot of things you're doing. That's very powerful.
I just want comedians to be who they are. That's really all it is.
That's it.
Sorry, David. You wanted to wrap it up. Go ahead.
Well, we actually have a call that we have to make.
Yeah.
I don't know what, about podcasting or something. It's just
okay.
And Dana's falling apart, obviously.
I'm at 2%, but I feel pretty good. I enjoyed this podcast. I enjoyed it.
I do. It was a great chat, though, Pete. You're a good dude. I will see you at Largo.
I hope so. Thank you both.
All right, Dana, don't hang up right away. This has been a presentation of Odyssey. Please follow, subscribe, leave a like, a review, all the stuff. Smash that button, whatever it is, wherever you get your podcasts. Fly on the Wall is executive produced by Dana Carvey and David Spade, Jenna Weiss-Berman of Odyssey, and Heather Santoro. The show's lead producer is Greg Holtzman.